old. I'm tired.
Yeah, well, it happens. Happens when you're a mad scientist. Zack
Oh,
Gerber, hello.
lose my mind, dude.
Yeah, what's up? You were just talking about Skype being awesome.
Oh yeah, like I literally haven't used Skype since like I did an interview with Hankins, so that should give that a good time as far as how long ago it's been.
Yeah.
And literally, you deal with that bullshit where it's like you're trying to remember old passwords and you just keep entering them, entering different ones, different combos of ones. Then
Mm-hmm.
they send you that alert saying like to your email that like somebody's like trying to access your thing, and you're like, yeah, that's me. Then you got to go through and change all this stuff, and yeah,
So we're
so
here. We made it.
yeah.
We freaking made it. How's your day?
That was good. I didn't do shit. I'm kind of like chilling right now until hopefully got something going on with Core W here pretty soon.
Oh,
And other than that, like holiday shit.
yeah. Getting into that time of the year where it's just every freaking weekend, every week, there's something going on.
Yeah.
Uh, so, phew, this is all like happening super fast with the fact that we got in here at 10 o'clock. Uh,
Yeah, that's my bad. I'm sorry. I was definitely like slacking. I literally just pulled something off the printer. It's cool because I was printing chain mail, like actually like chain links. You can print them
whoa,
in a strip, and I was making like little like bracelets and shit out of them. So
that's
I'm
sick.
using my girlfriend as like a test subject. Like, does this fit? Does this work? Like,
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool.
yeah, one of the benefits of like additive manufacturing, you can literally print links together. It's wild.
Whoa. Yeah, how does that work?
You set them on like a 45, so it's like an X.
Yeah.
So like, and then each one prints like in like holding each other.
Oh,
Yeah,
no
it's super crazy. It's
way.
sick too because I mean it's there's no weld, no. I mean it's plastic, but
Right.
it's still cool that it's just like one piece.
No doubt. That is pretty sweet. Uh, we'll get into 3D printing though. I wanted to first ask you what BMX is like for you currently. Like, what's your BMX life like?
Shit, man, I fucking other than like what my friends do and friends of friends, you know what I mean? Like that's all the shit that I see anymore.
Yeah. Well, like riding wise though, what
What
do
am
you?
I doing?
Yeah.
Shit, I want to do a lot more than I'm doing.
Yeah. I think we all do.
But it's that time of year though too, where it's like fall. I was getting like juiced. I wanted to like do some shit. You get that like seasonal anxiety that you're like, oh
Mm,
shit, dude, banger season. If I don't fucking do something, I'm gonna have to wait like 6 months to do it.
yeah.
So that's kind of come and gone, and now I'm just like stressing over having to do some fucking like indoor skate park bullshit or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least Skate Naked down there is, kind of up your alley as far as grinding and all the stuff that they have there.
Fuck, dude, fuck no, they lowered the fucking rails there, so you can't even ride them now.
What? They're too low for peg height?
Yeah, that was their thing. They wanted to make it more inclusive so everybody could use the rail. Now, like bikes can't because it's literally fucking like
No
off the
way.
fucking
That
ground.
sucks.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I barely went there anyways, and maybe make like my annual trip to Ray's like once a year.
Yeah, do it freaking Sunday might be the day since they're having that memorial jam for Ray.
Yeah, dude, that's so fucked up.
Yeah, seriously. Being.
That's all I gotta say. Like, that's fucking awful. It's terrible. Like,
Mm-hmm.
ah, I don't know how to fucking properly like even communicate those words.
Dude, yeah, I fully get it. Yeah, because every Friday I do my like news thing, and I
Yeah,
thought, oh, I'll be fine to talk about it, and
yeah.
just totally was not fine.
It's fucking insane, dude. It's insane how many fucking like fucking how long we've been doing this and how many even friends in our scene, our contest series, like everybody we fucking rode with, like how many fucking of our friends died. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know what the fuck it is, man. It sucks. It's scary too.
I th- I don't know if it's just the reality of life or if it's more so who we are. Like I don't know what normal people's lives and how many people experience stuff like this out that don't ride.
Yeah, it's also too. We do have like, I mean, shit, man, you got a big ass following of people, so more people more people you know of more people.
That's true.
But like, he was somebody who wasn't like a friend of a friend or an associate. Like, you fucking knew him, you seen him. Like, I fucking known that dude for like a fucking decade. I've done shows with him. I fucking talked to him about business shit. Like, he was a fuck family man. You know what I mean? It's fucked, dude. Like, just fucked.
It sucks. It really sucks. And I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of people at Ray's on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so for anybody who doesn't know, there's a memorial jam for Ray Fairclough at Ray's on Sunday, the 11th. But yeah, I don't want to, be sad and stuff, because he definitely wouldn't want that. And I want to talk about you. That sounds so weird.
No, I know, but it's a good thing, dude. Like, I mean, the dude fucking... Actually, low-key, he was, like, one of the sickest dudes. Like,
seriously.
I'm not trying to fucking, like, talk shit on Kevin Teets, but, man, when Ray would show up...
Dude.
Oh, no, what... You're there?
Yeah, you're here. You're good.
Oh, cool. It, like, cut out on me. I wasn't sure. It might be on my end, too, because I'm kind of in my back room.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, well, it's just, I mean, the smile when he would come into a session and then absolutely destroy it is just incomparable.
Oh, yeah. Definitely, like, one of the fucking best dudes ever. I don't know, man. It does suck. Like, there's nothing, no other way to put it. It fucking sucks.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people, how they'll talk about how someone was the best dude ever, and they're saying that because, it just feels that way at the time. But Ray was legitimately one of the best dudes ever. So it's just...
Oh, yeah. Especially somebody who brought, like, if there's a fucking jam going on and he, like, showed up, he brought the fucking vibe.
For real. Yeah, he seriously did.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, be at Ray's on Sunday, people, and Ray Fairclough is the man. But
man, I'm so bummed losing so many of my friends and having fucking Ray's jams for him, dude. I literally, like, dude, I can fucking name, like, 5 friends who we've had fucking Ray's jams for who've, like, passed away in, like, recent years.
Sucks.
I don't know whether that's about getting fucking older. Like,
well, I think
you start, like, losing your friends, but I always think that's just, like, people of our personality types who we hang around with, like, I don't know, most people just hang around, get old, and then, like, when they hit, like, their 50s, they suddenly just start popping off because, like, of health issues because they ate like shit for years.
Yeah, yeah. And I think you're onto something there with just the fact that being BMX riders in general, too, we just know people from everywhere. And we know so many more people than I feel like normal people do, where normal people who just go to work, come home, go to work, come home, have their group of, however many people they see at work or whatever they do outside of work. And then we have an entire freaking country, world, whatever, of people.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely, like, more impactful. We know a lot more people in our little niche activity. Most people are like, oh, shit, man, Joey from our fantasy football league, he passed away. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like, oh, from what? Oh, he had a heart attack. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
We're the ones who statistically get into, like, having dumb shit occur because just our, like I said, personalities and shit like that.
Your video's frozen, so I'm going to hang up and call you back in 1 second.
All right. I'm going to try to get closer to my router, too, so.
Okay. Oh, you just came back. What the heck just happened? No, but you're still...
Yeah, see, dude, that's what it was doing on my end, too. I don't know what it is. Yo, I'm going to open my door.
There we go.
Because the radio signals.
The 5G.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It was doing fine like 2 seconds ago.
That was weird.
And now it's just like going to shit. So I don't know.
Well, this has happened before. I can hang up, call back, and it should be there for a good time, and it won't matter. 2 seconds.
I mean, I can just.
We're making it happen, people. Don't worry. We'll talk about BMX in 2 seconds. Can't always be perfect, right? Oh, God. podcast that goes off the rails. I got a whole list. There he is. I think.
Working?
Yes.
All right,
okay.
We're going in the living room.
We're good.
Come on, we're going for a walk.
All right, let's take an adventure and.
I gotta get closer to the router. I think that's like what's going on here. At least that's my hypothesis.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm in like my back guest room, so it's like fucking fighting with me about it. Come on, ye old computer.
That's where all the 3D print stuff goes down.
Yeah, that's where I like had my whole like little fucking like workshop set up. Oh yeah, I got the power cords and everything.
We're getting dedicated to the craft right now.
Fucking set up here.
All right, sweet.
So my dining room, way easier.
So to bring things, somewhat back to you and talking about BMX, I remember seeing videos of you throughout the progression of things, and I wanted to talk about your evolution as a BMX rider, because you've like done everything. You've been
as far as like park riding and everything. Transition.
We'll get to that second, but you've done every type of professional BMX riding that you can do. You've been a professional salary paid rider. You've been a stunt show rider. You've been a stunt show manager. Like you've done all of it, and I don't know. It's cool that evolution to.
Yeah, it was definitely fun. I mean. Going from literally, being a teenager and riding stunt shows and then pro rider bullshit and knowing the ins and out of the industry and obviously like realizing why things don't work for me and who I am as a person. And then like luckily finding like Dorito and shit and being able to ride like shows and then managing shows and doing that for a while was pretty sick.
Yeah, it's cool because when I first met you was when you were still riding for Redline, and I remember it was funny. We were sitting outside of I think it was the football stadium or whatever it is there down the road from Campus Rampus, where we met, where Bloodbath came up.
Yeah.
And I remember you being like, "Yeah, dude, just let me know when you're gonna ride. Like, this is my life. This is what I do." and I'm like, "Damn, that's sweet." And then thinking about the stunt show aspect of it and traveling the whole world or country for that. Like, it's cool that you've literally done every aspect that you can do, just about.
Yeah. I mean, shit, maybe one day I'll end up I won't work for anybody because they get pissed off at me probably. But, yeah, I mean, it's... like I'm doing my own shit anyways. Like I'm kind of paving my own path, doing stuff, and I don't know, but I don't know. That's also who I am, constantly having to like evolve. Whether it was like riding things and preferences that I was like, I grew up in Pennsylvania, riding like skate park trails, street, like riding everything.
Mm-hmm.
And same with like professions and shit too. Like my biggest problem with like work and stuff is I get fucking bored.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'll get like, oh, I learned how to do something, then it's like, oh, I don't want to do it anymore.
And yeah, that's totally understandable as like a human, wanting to just, you find that next thing, you're never satisfied. You're like, okay, I got that. Now what's next?
Yeah. I mean, that's constantly learning. Like the biggest fear I've ever had is like, most people like our parents' generation, especially, that was like, yeah, do one thing for the rest of your life for the next 40 years and retire, maybe.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, that sounds like fucking perpetual hell. Like
that's purgatory.
Not interested. Yeah, right?
Yeah. So it's cool to hear that that's kind of part of it. Do you think that's why you've kind of evolved as a rider too? You started riding street, park, trails, all of it. Then from what I've seen anyways, you kind of went more towards like park stuff, doing flare freaking turn down to 5 taps and
like
double whip airs.
Scotty Kramer era.
Yeah,
the Scotty Kramer era when everybody was like on fucking Vital Board, like comparing me to like Scotty and then like Mark Webb fucking type time period.
Yeah, and
Tight pants, skinny jeans, and flare turn downs.
yeah, there was that, and then it kind of evolved to where like you got a free coaster, put four pegs on, no brakes anymore, and started doing front flips downstairs and stuff. And it's cool to kind of, if you look at your career as a BMX rider, you've done it all, and you've ridden every way that can be rode. I pulled up a clip or a video on your old YouTube channel. It's from 15 years ago. It's called Zack Gerber Crap. And you do
Oh
a
yeah, shit. It's like filmed with like a 240 by like 180 fucking like
oh yeah,
NV2.
oh yeah, and you can count the pixels on the screen, but it starts with you doing a flatland trick. Like
Oh yeah.
literally,
Yeah.
you could do flatland, you ride trail street, all of it, and I don't know, I think it's cool that you can look at your career almost the way some way, or just riding in general. I don't want to say your career, your riding in general through the years, somewhat like how people talk about music artists and they have their periods of time and they change over the years, and it's kind of similar to that.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a natural progression of like, I don't know, everybody's shit changes. I mean, obviously, if you did the same fucking five tricks, I don't know, I can't say that either because some people kind of have that shit and they just make it look really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's super aesthetically sick. Like, if you got five tricks but you do them better than anyone else, then I'm kind of jealous of that too.
Yeah.
Because my shit's just always changing, but that's just me and my sporadic like ADHD behavior.
Well,
Like I just constantly doing something.
would you say that you're more so chasing the tricks than trying to do the same stuff over and over, to where you're like going for that next thing you want to learn, whatever it might be, and then now, all right, now we did that, so what's next? Then
I'd say my shit like right now, as far as perspective wise, has just been like more focused on what I'm riding.
okay.
I care way more about like what I'm riding and what tricks I'm doing on what I'm riding. So like you know how you see a spot and the spot can tell you what to do.
Oh yeah.
Shit, like that's more like what I'm definitely more focused on now than before. Like redline days when I'd be, oh look at this, like there's a sick ledge rail combo and I just bar spin over the whole thing to flat.
Yeah.
Like those days where you're just like, yeah, just jump everything to flat. Like, yeah, I'm kind of over that. Like, been over that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just definitely like I look at things differently. How things like bump jump this into that, blah blah blah. What's on the wall? What are you grinding? Blah blah blah.
I would say that shines through in the stuff you see in video parts from you too, just being that, like, you look at the most recent one from Salad Days, it's definitely more setup oriented.
Yeah,
You're
like that was something I wanted to do, is just be like more focused on like what I'm riding and things that might not be like the most difficult trick, but what made them like difficult was the setup.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you kind of have like this like give take of, if you want to do a wild trick, you kind of need a nice setup for it. It's easy, it's like safe, whatever the fuck it may be. And
Mm-hmm.
then if you want to try something more simple, usually you have like a way more complex, crusty, rusty fucking setup. You know what I mean?
Yep, I know exactly what you mean. Where you could just be doing a feeble grind, but because of the setup is the most difficult thing ever, and that's what it ends up being, and that is totally sick.
Yeah, that's like where I'm at. Like, I mean, it's just paying more attention. And I think it's like with age, you kind of like, when you're younger, you're just so hyped on like tricks.
Mm-hmm.
You're like tricks, 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 learn, tricks, tricks. Like you didn't care what the fuck they were on, where they're at, what they're done, how they're done, what they look like, as
Yep.
long as you were doing them. And as you get older, you start to care more and more about it. Then you kind of like focus in on what tricks you're doing, what you like, what feels good, and then applying those tricks you do to like setups that are challenging for you to do them on. So
Yeah. Yeah, that makes total sense. And if you take a look at some of the stuff that you have put out, way before even actual video parts. The one I can remember from Ridgeway where you're doing, I think you do a front flip in there and just crazy stuff over the box jump. And you can see that it's just like trick. I want to do every trick possible.
Yeah. It's definitely just like, I mean, shit, we've all been there.
Yep, I'm still there. I'm obsessed.
If you do, like, you have like your own thing too, which is important too, which is sick.
Yeah.
I always felt like I was in some kind of like rat race, and I didn't really know which way to focus my energy because I did like I said, the Vital BMX era with like the flare turn down, Scotty Kramer shit, and then I was just like, all right, I kind of want to ride like street. I want to do something else. So
yeah.
I don't know. It just changes. I can't like stay doing one thing. Like sometimes I want to go back. Don't get me wrong. I want to put brakes on sometimes.
Yeah. Well, every time you ride my bike, you're like, oh, I put brakes on a bike and
it's fun.
do hurricanes.
Dude. Like, it's fun.
Yeah.
Dude, hurricane shit's fucking.
Yeah. Your video's froze again. Can you just tap the video button in the bottom middle off and then on once?
That's so weird. I'm sorry, man.
Oh, hey, it fixed it for half a second and then it. What the hell? It's Skype. You suck. Try it one more time.
Dude, I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean,
it's no worries.
I'm literally sitting next to my router.
No, you're good.
So.
Just try turn it off and on once more, and and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'll try reconnecting one more time. And if it freezes, well, we're on to something. Sweet. Anyways, though, yeah, I don't know. I can see that. God damn it, it froze again. Whatever. You're smiling at least this time. I think the rat race.
I could try. I could try like, so I have like a 5G and a 2G in the house because like one's like far reaching and one's like for closer, like for the television and shit.
Yeah.
I could try connecting to my like 5G connection rather than my 2G.
Okay, that's fine, and I don't think people care, so it'll be okay. And if they care,
yeah, tell them to like hold on, like I'm fucking all over the place. What do you expect? Look at me. I'll be right back. Let me get the password.
All right, I'll keep everybody occupied here. If you guys have any questions for Zach, leave them in the chat. Leave your questions in the chat. Because he's getting his internet sorted, and this happens. This is doing them live, it's real time. It's understandable.
Space age technology. Let's see. What fucking setup do I got here? Wi-Fi 20. Holy shit, why do I have so many potential fucking Wi-Fi connection things?
That's why it's not working. It's the whole world's surrounding you is Wi-Fi. Doesn't know what to do. Reconnecting.
Yeah, I'm trying to get on that 5G.
Oh, that actually just did something. Hey,
can you see me?
Hell yeah. Perfect.
Do I look Nitro Circus? Hey guys.
Need a full face.
You
need a full face and less pegs.
I want to see Mike Aiken 180 turn down the fucking mega ramp at Nitro Circus.
You say that, but you know that there's somebody out there who would try it.
Fucking Aiken. I watched that motherfucker 180 turn down 180 look back the Section 8 box, and that's literally fucking mentally ill.
Dude.
Like, I don't know. I was talk about that. That shit was fucking. You remember that era of like everybody just doing fucking monster 180s? I see all that Chase Hawk footage coming out, and he just 180 the box at 90 miles an hour.
Oh my god. I remember that.
Fuck yeah, the big one. Even in street, just like the big monster ass like Dakota Roach 180s. Just fucking like floating in the air for 5 minutes. I've done it. I'm guilty of it. Sick.
I'm too much of a pussy to do that stuff. I'm like, I don't want to fakie that fast.
That's a good way to get fucking knocked out too. You just fucking like land, slip a pedal, hit the back of your head.
Yep.
Take a nap.
Instant nap. Instant dirt naps for everyone. Anyway, so at what time did you start riding? Like, what year was it?
Jesus Christ! Like actually, like get a BMX bike.
Yeah, real riding.
I'll give you an idea. One of my first bikes was like from a secondhand store. It was like a Schwinn Predator. So it was like a race bike.
Yeah.
And after that, it was like the Specialized TRX. And then I worked this summer and got the Specialized TJ Lavin. If you remember the gold frame with the red sidewall tires.
Dude, somebody will remember, but that's like...
Dude, he had the cover of Ride BMX doing the Superman C-Grab.
That's before my time.
Dude, TJ Lavin is like one of the reasons I got into riding, as funny as that is.
Real. So, wait, how did you encounter TJ Lavin to get you into riding?
Not him personally, but that cover of a magazine. The magazine ended up in my school library.
Oh, okay.
And my mom found it because she was a school teacher and was like, "Hey, Zach, I know you like riding bikes." And I was like, "Oh my God, this is everything. This is the Bible."
Mom, you don't know what you just did to my life.
No, because like before then, you were just like riding with your friends, like hitting curbs and like trying to take your hand off or your foot off. You didn't know what the hell you were doing.
Yeah.
And then like it's like now you like have a fucking thing where people are doing tricks and you're like, "That's called an X up." You're like, "Oh, sick, X up, okay." Like.
Yeah, that's awesome. I never experienced that really, because I went straight from going to the skate park the first time ever to having a brand new complete bike and just being at the skate park surrounded by people like Sponge and the other local dudes that were his age. So it was just instantly thrown into everyone being insane.
Dude, my first experience of that, I was literally talking to a dude on Instagram today about it, like first time being like belittled by adults and professional or like good bike riders. Was going to like Studio 334. My dad like found it driving to a golf course.
Nice.
I mean, that says a fucking lot. And ended up taking me there one weekend, and like Doyle was there and like did a like kick out and almost hit me on the box because I was like this little kid with no etiquette, just standing in the fucking way. Like people like yelling at me and shit, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. And I'd be like, "Dad, they were mean to me." And he's like, "Were you in their way?" And he's like, I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, then get the fuck out of the way."
That's awesome. Your dad.
You know what I mean? Like that was the shit. And the next time I went in, I just knew to stay the fuck out of everyone's way.
Yeah. Damn.
We were discussing like concepts of like etiquette and shit, and like, yeah, we were fucking like, dude, you and I both grew up in like the come up era of like anonymous commenting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you remember when people would use like, motherfuckers were famous for using like Dave Mira or fucking like Mike Spinner as like their handle on the come up, and then just being like, "Yo, you should die." Like,
yeah, there's
fucking
a lot.
like slipping a pedal or putting in like landing in grass or whatever the fuck people didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
Your pants are too tight. You should kill yourself. Like
the filming of this video wasn't completely professional.
Yeah, motherfucker, everybody had like a VX 1000 or a fucking GL 1 or 2, like, and they're like talking shit on it, like, dude, I got a flip camera, fuck you.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's so
dude,
funny.
The first time I got on the come up, it was filmed by like Flip from Albies on his like NV2 chocolate fucking phone. When I like tire tap front flip to flat basically.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, "Hey, look at this idiot. Sick." It's like fucking like 3 megapixel, like it looks like fucking Minecraft but BMX.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dude, I mean I have those, and it's cool though, because I had a thing to talk about in here that like you've always made or been in videos, so you can pretty much see. I mean, other than, is there stuff from before you started doing front flips over box jumps and all that too?
Yeah, I had like one edit. And no, there probably was still front flip in there because I was basically like the only tricks I could do were like turn downs, 360s, and front flips.
Yeah.
That's all I had for fucking years.
Yeah, so you pretty much have everything of your riding, even up to this point, documented as the progression has gone. And I think it's cool because not everybody has that.
Well, there's a lot of really terrible music choice videos out there with like bro cam footage out there. Dude, yo, let me get it. Yo, I actually got and fixed, because I've learned how to like, I'm such a fucking lunatic. I've learned how to like solder and repair computer chips, like
oh wow,
build a Roomba and shit for my house. But yo, I got my old flip camera that I won in Dew Tour.
Dude.
Because at Dude Tour, they gave me like an Xbox 360 and fucking like a bunch of Mountain Dew and a fucking flip camera, and it's like standard definition.
Yeah.
And I have it, and I've been filming with it again because it's just so bad. It's sick.
Yes, do it. Shit. Get it. That's so funny. Yo, Spencer Forsman in the chat.
Dude.
Whoa.
Dude.
I remember those being the thing.
Yeah, dude, like, standard definition still turns on. I had to fucking, like, repair and solder a few wires in because obviously, like, it takes AA batteries.
Mm-hmm.
And the, the terminals fucking get eroded, the green death. Yeah. And I just soldered new ones in, and then I got a fucking flip camera. Still has footage on it from, like, 2017.
Wow. Yeah.
Super, like, Colson footage. Colson's, like, fucking 15 years old or something.
Right. Well, riding Campus Rampus.
Yeah, no, for real, it is. It's like him and Eric and I, just fucking Redline days a million years ago.
Well, I remember you having that camera, and I remember you winning a GoPro at Texas Toast and using that after that.
Yeah, dude, like, oh, that GoPro got shot on a Redline trip.
Got shot?
What was it, Josh Holtz? It was either his dad or I think it was his dad. We went out to, like some fucking quarry on a Redline trip. We were just, like, shooting guns, and we were trying to shoot tannerite, and he ended up just shooting the GoPro.
Oh, my God.
He fucking missed and shot the GoPro.
Oh, that sucks. That's, like, the biggest disappointment when you go check things out. It was like, oh, well, there goes that footage.
Yeah, no footage anymore. At least I got the SD card, though. Fuck it.
Wow, that sucks.
But, yeah, that's how that one went. And then I remember that trip, too, because that's, like, Jeff Tabb. Just stayed behind me the whole time because I fucking bought like 75 rounds of fucking like number 7 birdshot, and I was just like in the quarry, just like shooting things at like point blank like an idiot. So it was pretty sick. Jeff Tabb, I love him too. Me and Glenn were being delinquent, so was Tyler. We were all being shitbags, dude. It was tight.
I feel like you've kind of always gone against the grain in things.
What did God damn it, the GOAT podcast dude called me like anti-pro. And I was like,
oh, yeah.
I fuck with that.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of accurate when you look at things.
Yeah, it's just, I'm just a liability because I fucking run my mouth all the time.
Yeah.
I'm very autistic, so I can't fucking, when I see problems, I just like yell about them. I'm like, ah! Just fucking spaz out.
Well, I don't know, man. I think from the stuff I've seen from you, though, I feel like you're just kind of like talking from your heart, and you have pretty realistic opinions about a lot of things.
Well, people don't like, most people, shit, dude. People don't like criticism of anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, I fucking have, like, pissed off fucking, who was I talking to about that? It was actually on that Goat Cave podcast about, like, X Games shit.
Yeah.
And I pissed off fucking, what's his name? Stu Johnson, because of like a Facebook post, because I dared to question how judges are chosen.
Oh, yeah.
And the criteria and like, how do you choose that? And like, to me, in my brain, that's just like an honest question. I'm not coming for your throat, dude. I just literally like, how does it work? I don't know. Because that's just how my brain is. That's why I tear shit apart, because I literally just want to know how it works. And then, like, Chris Rye got in on it and shit, and people were, like, pissed at me. And I'm just like, dude, all I want to fucking know is, like, because here's how I see it. This makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Just explain it. And then it's like, well, if you don't like it, why don't you make your own? It's a great argument. Great.
Yeah, well, and that's the sucky thing about at that point in BMX. I feel like there's a long time where you just couldn't question anything or talk about anything outside of what was okay. And I have a thing in here I wanted to talk about too, about like gatekeeping in BMX. It's a topic that I feel like you might have passionate opinions about, just because it feels like you've experienced that.
Yeah, let's define gatekeeping as far as individuals preventing other individuals from entering because of XYZ, or I don't know, dude. There's a lot to unpack in that kind of concept. That to me, gatekeeping is even all the way down to Skate Naked changing the rail.
That could definitely.
You know what I mean?
Like
when you see like the pop up of skate parks anymore, and like I mean, dude, look at the skate park I grew up riding, and look what it looks like now. It's all prefab, under 4 foot tall. Like, to me, that's gatekeeping in a sense too, because they want to make everything more accessible to kids.
Mm-hmm.
But then it doesn't give them the chance to progress. I mean, you and I were thrown to the fucking wolves. They're like, here's Section 8.
Yeah.
Fuck yourself. Good luck. You know what I mean? Now kids have, like, lower rails, lower standards. Like, are they going to be in it for the long run? Not to mention helicopter umbrella parents who, like, you know, if you're like, hey, get the fuck off the ramp, you're in the way. Or, like, you kick your back end over the quarter and almost hit them. You know what I mean? Your parents would fucking start a fist fight with you over it. Like, that's a gatekeeping sense in its own, because what that does is not allow younger generations to progress and have the same skill level or higher skill level than the current athletes.
Yeah.
So the current athletes can stay up here and you're fucking down here.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I don't know how much of that, but I guess I mean more so like intentional gatekeeping of like, oh, this person isn't going to get this coverage and they're not going to be in this video, or they can't get on this company or whatever.
It's hard to say, because what is like an actual like personal vendetta versus the concept of like money making decisions.
Yeah, I guess
you know what I mean.
True.
What makes more sense? Like, if you have somebody on the team who's been there for years, are you going to remove them to put this person in? The financial risk in that, the long term investment, short term benefit. It's hard to say. Plus, yeah, there is a lot of fucking butthurt in BMX, and people can't handle fucking any sort of
the hell
contradictive opinion or counter or pushback.
Yeah,
they just want to be constantly praised as being like the fucking best.
Yeah.
Like, all right, here, you want something that people want to fucking talk about? Let's talk about that Ricky Montana clip. It talks about Chris Doyle.
Yeah, I've talked about this
in person was like, oh, Chris Doyle, like, dude, Chris Doyle I've known for fucking, like, Big Dick Doyle, I've known that motherfucker for a long time. All right? And I'm going to say, you can put this as a fucking screen cap, this is a pretty good one. What Ricky Montana said is correct in 1 degree. So when he was speaking about, like, marketing towards kids, like today's youth, Gen Z kids, they don't know who the fuck Chris Doyle is.
Yeah.
Where he's wrong is S&M putting Chris Doyle on is for, like, our generation.
Right, exactly.
We're like, yo, fuck yeah, Chris Doyle.
Yep, I'm going to get an S&M.
Chris Doyle in the Mike Cesney voice from the Square One videos. Like, oh, Chris Doyle. Chris Doyle. You know what I mean? Like, that's who the fuck they put it on for, was for, like, us older heads who were like, yo, that's fucking sick.
Yep.
So, once again, Ricky Montana is correct in one light, but incorrect in another. It's all about who you're marketing towards, who you're selling towards, who's your target audience, all that shit. So, chill out, internet. Like, god damn it, it's just so funny. Everyone's like, I want to see him interview Chris Doyle so he can apologize to him. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, you think Doyle gives a fuck anyways, dude? Like, no.
Yeah.
Like, Doyle ain't got time to stress over what the fuck Ricky Montana's saying about him. Like, they're on 2 different fucking planets, dude.
Yeah, I literally had Doyle on and we talked about what it was said.
Dude, that's sick. Doyle's tight, man.
It was a really good conversation outside of that, too. It was just... not to bring more of the sadness stuff back, but it was like Doyle, that Ray passing happened in the middle of that Doyle controversy. And so when Doyle found out about Ray, like, he talked in my podcast thing about how it was like a grounding moment for him, where the whole internet is losing their mind over this one sound bite. But then this dude literally, like, his kids just lost their dad. And, like, people are freaking out. And it's like, the reality of things is that in 2 weeks, it's not going to matter. And there's going to be the new thing to freak out about. Oh, yeah. That's, it's goldfish brain, dude. Everybody's got fucking goldfish brain. They can't remember shit. TikTok. I literally try to talk to people about anything from, like, 2008. They're like, I don't remember. I'm like, what about last week? Nope. Was it on TikTok?
Yeah, like, literally, that shit makes your brain spaghetti, dude. Like, it's just fucking, you're just like, mindless fucking scrolling, see something, spikes your interest for a second, bump a dopamine, next.
Yep.
Nope, not interested, nope. Somebody said something about Chris Doyle. That makes me mad.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking knuckle dragging shit, dude. Like, so what?
Yeah. Well,
Push
you're
back. Like, who fucking cares? Like, at the end of the day, like, it don't matter. Like,
right.
it legitimately doesn't fucking matter what even what any of my opinions are. Like, that's the whole thing. At the end of the day, regardless of what the fuck I say, if you get butthurt, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, your feelings don't matter. Life goes on. Bike parts sell. Some don't. Fucking shit still goes the same fucking way, no matter what my asshole opinion is. It doesn't fucking matter. It's just me having a fucking me just saying something, or Ricky Montana, or fucking whoever else.
Yeah,
You know?
I think that a lot of people would do very well if they learned how to just they're doing this and then they stop and they're like if they just went and kept doing that.
Yeah, that's why cyberbullying doesn't exist, dude. Just turn your fucking phone off.
Yeah, it shouldn't exist. People should be able to just turn their phones off, but god dang, is there something addicting? I can't lie to you. I was on there checking that every hour looking at the new comments like who
You just
said
fucking
what?
eat popcorn and shit. Like, yeah.
Well, no, that was the thing. Because normally this is the stuff that I'd be like talking about on my channel and everything. I made a
Yeah.
meme where it was like me normally, and it was a guy throwing a bucket of water on a forest fire, and then I put me right now, and it was a guy swinging on a swing with a fire in the background. Like I'm not touching it. I'm not.
Yeah, fuck it. I mean, it's funny, dude. Well, BMX needs that shit too. Like, it needs some fucking controversy. It needs some fucking like pushback. Like, because you gotta constantly remind people that it's out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, we're still here. We're still doing shit, talking shit. Like, I don't know. It's good internet shit too.
Yeah,
Not to mention, I don't know, man. People gotta learn how to fucking let bygones be bygones. You know what I mean? We can fucking, dude. Especially with all the shit that I do now anymore with like 3D printing shit, dude. I get a lot of fucking pushback sometimes. I'm like, hey, listen, like, you're allowed to have your opinions and I have mine, and we're allowed to like let me fill you in on some things that I know, and you can fill me in on what you know, and
yeah.
I'm not going to change my position. And I'm open to everything. That's the thing. Usually, why I say shit out loud and criticize things, like what I'm known for doing, is
Mm-hmm.
criticizing things, is usually because that is my point of knowledge.
Right.
If I'm like, I don't know how to properly phrase my question, so I usually just blurt something out as a rude asshole response, and then somebody will say something and correct me, and then I'll be like, okay, shit.
Yeah. Well, and see, that's the
But then at least
problem.
I'm open to change. You know what I mean? I'll be like, if I'm fucking wrong, dude, I'll be like, I'll be a stubborn asshole, but if I'm wrong, I'm fucking wrong, and I'll be like, all right, you're right. I learned something. Thank you, and now I have a better, more informed decision ability.
Right.
But if you hit me with that shit, like the believe to believe, or just like just because I said so kind of shit, like, I'm just like, all right, now I'm gonna fucking be an antagonist and be worse.
Well, and that's what's such a problem with the cancel culture, super short minds or attention spans that people have today, and that like to get through the types of things that you're talking about and that make you think of the statement you just made about like having something to say and push back on things. To get through those, you have to have the conversations that can go back and forth, and that's why I think stuff like this right now between people who don't agree on something is so, or just being able to go face to face with somebody and have that conversation. But I think in BMX, it's like, it's the kind of thing where we have it to where if you have a disagreement with someone, they just avoid you for the rest of their life, and you never get the opportunity, not never, but you don't usually get the opportunity to go back and forth on whatever it is that you don't agree on, to come to a spot or just say, all right, we don't agree, we have different points of view.
I mean, that's pertains to a lot of things. I mean, obviously some beef is always going to be unsquashable.
Right.
But for a majority of things, having an opinion on somebody's is something as mediocre as like a bike edit or a trick or whatever fucking it might be, something insignificant like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is a thing, dude. Like, dude, as I said before, we grew up in a culture where our videos were posted on a forum page, TCU.
Yeah.
And anyone with complete anonymity could fucking just say the most awful shit to you.
Yep.
The most awful shit.
Horrible.
Now, fast forward, our BMX meme pages are getting pulled for cyberbullying because somebody landed in grass and made a joke out of it.
Yeah,
What the fuck, dude?
well, this is something that there's a perfect example of like opinions evolving and changing throughout time, is because like there was a point in time where I was the subject of like local shit like that.
Dude,
And
I'm guilty of fucking harassing your ass over shit.
so,
I
well,
never attacked you personally, but I attacked your riding. At least I didn't come after you like fucking like you as a person. I would not do that because
yeah.
you're different. But I can be like, yo, that dent in your handlebars, whack.
Yeah. So, but what I was getting at with that is like, I feel like I took things a little more personal because I had that going on, and I just felt like all meme pages needed to go away and die and disappear forever, and I was willing to die on that hill. And as things have kind of like come back a little bit, and that doesn't happen as much anymore, I'm like, well, you know, like everything should be able to be criticized, and I think what made me have that feeling before was just the fact that it was people who were like close to me at one point in time who were doing it. Was like, damn, that's like hurtful. That really sucks.
Dude, I grew up in a town that fucking made shirts of me making fun of me. Like,
Yeah.
literally made shirts of me talking shit. Like, oh, I'm going to be a pro bike rider. I'm so good. Like,
Yeah.
that's something that fucking happens. But, dude, that means you're hardening up.
Yeah.
You can take that shit now. Before, yeah, it hurts and it sucks. And now you're just like,
oh, yeah. Like,
fuck you.
Well,
I don't give a shit. I'm going to keep doing my shit. I'm in my lane.
yeah.
And that's respectable. That's way more respectable than fucking taking a knee to, like, and then trying to make those people happy.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
you can never make them fucking happy.
No, they're alalways
like,
gonna
what are you
find
gonna do?
something.
Quit riding to make people who are like talking shit happy?
Yeah, or I'm gonna cut my hair because people hate my hair. I'm gonna not. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not gonna be you. And it's
Exactly.
like, and that's just it. Like, instead, you're like, no, fuck you. I'm doing me. And
Yep.
that's way more of a hard response back.
Yep.
And that's like what's sick about that. That's like I said, I was having a conversation on Instagram. That's what's cool about our generation is like, we got thrown to the wolves. We got fucking people talking shit. Everyone's attacking us. And we kept doing what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't change. We didn't soften up. We didn't report you for cyberbullying. We didn't fucking do anything. Instead, we're like, fuck you. I'm going to keep doing more of what I'm doing. You turn your haters into motivators. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's what the fuck it is. Like, so, you know, give or take, that's just like where my stance on shit is. I don't like this idea of like, let's make everything like a safe space where people can fucking, you know, say things and everyone's nice and calm. Like, if you want a safe space, you can have one. I'm not saying you shouldn't have one, but like, this ain't the fucking place for it.
Yeah. Go somewhere
Like, when
else.
you make an edit, when you put yourself out there as a public figure, this ain't a fucking safe space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Every motherfucker's gonna come for you. You gotta fucking you gotta toughen up. That's it.
Yeah, and so like my opinion has evolved on this, and just realizing the fact that like you're public on the internet, regardless of like whatever, but everybody deserves the right to criticize and can be criticized by other people. And I just kind of made the realization of like, okay, it was just my personal feelings, and I was taking it out on the fact that other meme pages exist, and it just sucks. And it's just the way I thought of it. And I felt like too, just the fact that like kids see that and they don't know that it's a joke, or they don't know that it's just breaking balls, and they go to their local skate park and they're like, oh, I'm gonna treat this kid like crap just because he's different. And it's like, oh damn, that sucks.
Yeah, there is like, yeah, don't get it twisted. There are like pros and cons of the entire thing. That's obviously one of like the negative sides of it is, which is another major down like negative effect of the internet is everybody takes everything fucking literally.
Yeah.
Like, you can't tell what's satirical in text. You know, as hard as you try, some motherfucker will read what you wrote and be like, he's telling the truth. I hate him. Like,
yeah.
they can't tell it. I think it's fucking like, I literally was just watching a podcast before this. It's like a group of my friends in the 3D printed community. And it's like, we talk shit. That's it. They literally just fucking talk shit on everyone. That's all it is them just dogging on people. And that's sick to me though too, because I grew up in that culture. I like giving people shit. I like pushback. I want you to talk shit on me. I'll talk shit on you. But if anybody ever fucked with you, I got your back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we're brothers. We're like brothers, and we fucking like fight like brothers. We talk shit like brothers. But if somebody outside of our circle ever fucks with you, they're fucking with me too. Like
Right.
that's iconic moment was at Baco years ago before they banned us. Not the most recent time, but the one before that.
Okay.
Tony Nyer hit this fucking. You remember those like 2-person launchers for water balloons?
Yeah.
Made out of like those rubber bands.
Yep.
Yo, he launched a full fucking beer at this like overweight girl on a golf cart and like hit her in the back.
Oh my
And her dad like came down and like started shit with Tony. And already like if you start shit with Tony Nyer, like Tony's like a fucking like he's a goddamn linebacker.
Yeah.
Right? He's a big motherfucker. Yo, fucking we had those cabins at Baco, like every one of them just emptied out and swarmed this fucking dude. Like, cause that's how it is, man. Like even if we don't fucking like you have beef, but like if you're some normie like NPC shit trying to fucking start shit with us, you start shit with all of us. Like
Yep.
It was sick, dude. Like there's literally like 75 BMX riders around this one dad who was justified in being pissed off. Don't get me wrong. We're like, yeah, touch him. We'll fucking kill you, old man. Like, everybody's screaming at him and shit. Like people are drunk, like trying to tip his cart over and shit.
Oh
like it was
God.
wild, man.
Did he realize how deep he was in at that point?
Dude, he fucking like flew down the hill, like locked up the brakes and was like, hey, like he was a big dude too. Tony's just like, what? And then like you start yelling at Tony in his face, and when people seen like there was an altercation going on, yo, the fucking like cabin just emptied and everyone swarmed this fucking dude.
Yeah.
Then they ended up calling the cops, and there's like 13 cops there, and there's a whole bunch of shit. And then that's why they like banned us from Baco for a number of years, and then we went back, and then they banned it again, and
Well, and now it's just done.
now it's permanently done. So it was sick though.
Dude, those were, oh my God, those were my first experiences with like those types of BMX jams, and it's just being the sober spectator of like watching drunk people jumping off roofs and bottle rockets and
Dude,
oh
holy shit. Yeah, the bottle rocket like open battlefield that like took place for launching mortars at fucking people, dude. Like, oh yeah, but that shit's sick, man. I think that's like, to me, that's like the core of BMX. Like that's literally like who we are at our most base level, is this very like uncontrolled spastic energy of like destruction, and we've like focused it into something like creative, because otherwise we're just completely like chaotic, like bad kids.
dude. And see, I'm not that. I would have focused it into like whatever would turn me into a fat person. I'd be 300 pounds right now playing whatever video game online. I would just,
Oh, dude, I can feel that. Wintertime, that's all I do. I'm just like making shit and fucking. Yeah, I'm guilty of video games too, but that's like, you know, I came up in that era. I mean, dude, when I was in college, I used to fucking like play Halo tournaments for money and shit.
oh my gosh.
Total fucking nerd, dude. I get it.
Yeah. I got a shout out before it gets too far back into the chat. Spencer Forsman said, I'm going to Ohio to ride with these two handsome men on the screen.
Hell yeah.
So,
Spencer got a printer too.
nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm trying to build like a community of people and do all that shit. So it's sick that Spencer got one. His brother's a fucking wizard at fucking like computer aided design. So
Really?
yeah, I didn't know that. And then I just seen like Spencer sent me his designs and shit. And I was like, holy fuck.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. So he's like an engineer. He's a wizard.
Nice. So yeah, I just want to shout that out real quick. Let us know and we'll be there.
Yeah, Spencer, I got a fucking spare bedroom, so you're welcome anytime.
Boom. Damn. So we're just all over the place with everything we're talking about, but to take it back to, you know, like coming up riding and stuff, I mean, you got good fast and really good. So like what drove you to do that?
Charlie Bowers.
Oh my God, the monkey.
Dude, interview Monkey, please.
I feel like I need somebody else there who's knowledgeable to be able to ask the questions, because I just know that when when he crashes at the Flow Dirty East contest and Trevor Gay is like, "Monkey cracking the concrete," like.
Dude, that's the reason I got, and I'm not good. Monkey was always better than me. I was chasing him. That dude, go watch the Section 8 contest. That's all I gotta say.
So he was your sponge, like Sponge was my sponge.
And Monkey's younger than me, and he was just fucking like unnaturally like buff and talented, no homo, but like Monkey fucking just was just, I don't know, anything with two wheels. I watched that dude just destroy shit. It didn't matter whether it was like skateboards, rollerblades, fucking soap shoes, whatever the fuck we were doing, like riding my motorcycle, him doing delinquent shit on that, like, yeah, he just was like naturally skilled at that, and I was just trying to always keep up or do my own thing because I couldn't keep up.
Nice. So was he Ridgeway local?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like me and him, fucking like we just like, I mean, him and I used to get in like fist fights.
What?
Like I fist fought him one time because he manualed this thing before I did.
No way.
In front of our high school, like he fucking manualed it first, and I literally got so pissed we started fighting. Like yeah, we were like that group. Like we went to do tour together. We went to fucking like we did everything together. So yeah, he's the reason I fucking like got anywhere as far as like talent, because he pushed me, I pushed him, and like. He'd be like, hey, you can do this way, and I'll be like, oh, you can do this, and like we look for each other's spots and fucking shit like that. So that's really where it all came from.
Damn, that's sick. Yeah, I had my only knowledge and experience of him is from seeing him at Dirty East contests.
Yeah, like, and that's just it. Like he's fucking a total sleeper, and he's still fucking unbelievably good.
Really?
He's got like that switch.
Isn't he a cop?
No, that whole fucking thing fell apart, and he was doing that shit like. He was going through some like personal shit in his life, and now he's just chilling. Got a motorcycle, like got a house, like.
Whatever, he's riding though, and still incredible.
Dude, yeah, he just has that switch where if he wants to fucking do some ridiculous shit, he just can. And he's always just like needs a reason to. He's like, yo, I want to film this like drop in. It's like 10 foot of vert into like a 6-inch transition. I know I can do it, and I'm like, the fuck are you talking about, dude? He's like, yeah, you just got to film it or else I don't really want to do it. Like, I'm like, somebody film this motherfucker, dude. Like,
no
he's
kidding.
Like, you see all those like clips of him, like when he's like even riding like wheel mill and shit. Like, it's just like the clips that end up on the internet are the ones like people filmed of him. But like, I know he did it like 270 out or fakey or like just because I know he can. I know he did. They just happened to film the easy shit.
Yeah, he never. Did he fully, you know. I don't want to say make it in BMX, but was he a super well-known name, or was he kind of underground?
Monkey, like, after he won, like, the Section 8 contest, he beat Doyle at the Section 8 contest.
Damn.
He won that Halloween Red Bull Jam, like, beat Garrett Reynolds.
Wow.
Like, and he did Do Tour a number of fucking years, and Monkey kind of just fucking fell off because of, admittedly, we all have fucking women trouble. He got fucking involved with this girl who was like on like fucking just like, yeah, this isn't like a real career path.
Oh God.
And then that's why he like got pressured into being a fucking like, he did like the 120 classes in PA to get your certificate to be a police officer and got tased and all that shit, and then didn't even use it.
Damn.
You know what I mean? He just ended up like getting a fucking normal job out in the fucking woods. You know what I mean? Like. Mm-hmm. Got like kind of recluse after that because like he kind of like when you step back from bike riding, you know, industry's kind of like, well, see you later. They kind of keep on their fucking path, and talent doesn't fucking disappear.
Right.
But it was just kind of like him taking a step back from it and not trying to pursue it. And then when he kind of like stepped back from it, he was like, he's still fucking like ridiculously good though. Like, yeah. And he still rides, dude. He still rides like that early 2000s way too.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what's about.
Like the brakes, the fucking like, he's like Morgan Wade. He's got that Morgan Wade like just fucking muscle bound motherfucker like hits the ground and breaks shit. Like yeah, for real.
I feel like that's a really good comparison. Those two should make a split edit.
Oh my God, that'd be so sick.
It'd be so sick.
I don't know where the fuck Morgan Wade's at right now, but can we make that fucking happen? Like, can somebody fucking make that happen? Because
yo,
Jesus
Morgan,
Christ.
Please.
Just fucking, let's just have those two try to fucking foofanu the furthest back, tallest sub box they can. That's all I want to see. Morgan Wade Morgan Wade and Monkey tail up to ice pick. Both of those guys, like I seen Monkey do some wild fucking tail up to ice pick shit. Like, I'd love to see those two go at it. It'd be fucking mentally ill.
Oh, it'd be such a good video. God, it'd be so good.
And just like the big ass rails that they do too. Like Monkey's done some fucking monster, deadly fucking rails. Like shit that like you shouldn't even grind, and he just did like fucking huge rails. Like this one in where is it? Warren, Pennsylvania. It's just fucking like 45 degrees, like steep, 30 stairs. Hopped on it, did it. And it's one of those ones where it's like, you know, the pipes are twisted together, like steel piping for like your house.
Oh, it's an actual pipe that's made into a rail.
Yeah, it's like actual pipe fitting, so it's like
oh my
way down.
God.
It's like a fucking 30 stair. It's like fucking 25 foot tall. Like, yeah, monkey's fucked, dude.
Yeah,
insane.
He deserves the love, that's for sure.
Yeah, I want to see him come back. I keep pressuring him. I'm like, yo, dude, like, you gotta film something.
Yeah.
You gotta film something, dude. You gotta fucking film something. Get it out there. People fucking know. Everyone's sharing that Section 8 shit, dude. Like,
yeah.
Don't fucking sleep on that, dude. Put something out.
Yeah, no doubt. He should do a edit and drop it on the early 2000s Instagram with James.
Oh, that'd be so fucking sick, dude. Host it through him.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna like you just gotta fucking like work with you know, schedules and shit. We're all adults now. That's the biggest issue.
Yeah.
But makes me want to buy a camera and just like show up wherever he is. All right, let's go.
I'm coming.
Put your knee pads on.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be so awesome. What the hell was I gonna go on about? Somebody. A question from Spencer here. Can we get some intel on how Zack sculpted that Super Warrior Terminator bod?
14 years of wrestling.
Oh, there you go.
Because that's what, I mean, me and Monkey used to wrestle too. So, like, it worked out, like, we had, like, summer programs where we would, like, ride to the weight room. You work out. You get, like, summer points for wrestling. And if you obtain so many points, you had to get, like, 100 points. And then you'd have, like, a day off of wrestling practice. So him and I would train, like, literally wrestling train. Like, you're pedaling to, pedaling from, you're running home, like doing all that shit. Like we were heavy into wrestling for middle school and high school, and that was like our off-season shit too, because obviously BMX is spring, summer, and fall. It was just always like super wild because like we would like take a weekend and go ride studio and come back with like road rash and cuts, and then have to like have a wrestling match or a tournament.
Staph.
Fucking, like, bleeding and shit, like fucking having to deal with scabs and everything from like crashing
and staph infections and God.
Yeah, Monkey ran into that shit too. Like you always had to be careful, like wearing pads, like your shin pads and shit. Like yeah, stuff's no joke.
No, that's serious business. Were there other locals that would be recognizable names?
Yeah, I mean there was like the whole fucking. You can probably look it up on YouTube, like Team Idiot, like Eric Herzing. He was another individual, too, who put out a bunch of shit. He was filming all the time with his crew. Mike Rosetto, Mike Milford, Ryan Fenton, Caleb Retzer, Chris Adamson. There's a whole fucking bunch of dudes that were, like, of that era. I mean, you can, like, look up the old YouTube Bad Omen videos that Wookie put together. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of shit, like, crews that we had. I mean, that skate park was a fucking major hub for all of us.
Yeah, I got the there's a Charlie Bowers bio up, so I'm playing Charlie Bowers bio.
Yeah,
he's talking.
Yeah, I mean it's like I think Eric filmed that for something, and I do believe he kind of ripped off Nate Wessel because I think he sits in like an ice pick and does some of his intro. If you remember Nate Wessel's intro, or not intro, but his was it a props bio where he did like the ice pick style and like answers questions in it?
Dang, I guess that's out for me.
ABT, dude, ABT.
Yeah. There's a lot of train tracks walking.
Oh, yeah. It's all supposed to be like, you know, artsy shit because Eric was, like, in film school and shit.
Yeah. Dude,
so, I mean, this is like peak fucking early 2000s MySpace era.
Yeah, this was uploaded 14 years ago. Can we talk for a second about Ridgeway Skate Park? Because just looking at this park, in this video, what I have on screen right now, it is incredible.
Yeah, it's insane that that's like where our shit started. It kind of started from it really started from, so you remember I told you we went to Studio 334?
Yeah.
And that was like a huge inspiration. I was like, Dad, I want a half pipe.
Mm-hmm.
And my half brother, Kurt, he ironically now is like a union carpenter. And like he was really into woodworking, and he was like, oh, this is an opportunity for me to like learn how to do shit. So he was on board wanting to build a ramp. My dad's like, all right, fuck it. And we built a 16-foot wide, 6-foot tall, like 48-foot from end to end fucking half pipe in my front yard.
Nice.
Got all the building permits for it and everything. And we had it there for like 2 years. We used to like fucking sleep on it and shit. Like, you know, just learn fucking everything on that thing.
Yeah.
And then the city changed their ordinance, and it was too close to the highway, and we started getting like citations in the mail. And obviously we had a building permit, so we were allowed to have it. So my parents sought a lawyer, and we confronted the borough with fucking like, yeah, we're gonna fucking sue you. My dad's like, yeah, we're gonna sue for like quite a bit of money so we can literally like start an indoor skate park. And you know, of course, our city council is literally like Gilmore Girls type shit. Like my town's so fucking small.
Yeah.
Like, they were like panicked. Like, oh fuck. Like, no, we can't afford that. We can't do that. Can we like negotiate something? And we were like, yeah, if you give us some place to put it, and we can build a public park, let's do that. And they paved an area downtown. We got a flatbed trailer, moved it down, put a spine in the middle of it, and then built a 13-foot vert wall and fucking sub box, and just like went crazy. And it was a project by like all the BMX riders and their dads. You know what I mean? Everybody bringing their drills down, their extension cords. It was a whole community project to build that. So it was pretty sick, especially like that was 8th grade.
What the hell? I started
Oh, yeah.
riding in 8th grade.
Yeah, so it was like a real big deal, and everyone was involved, and it was like super personal then. It was like a, you know, the dads, you know, everyone just volunteered to do it. You know, we had fundraisers, we cleaned up, we did everything we could to like make money and shit. And yeah, that park was fucking insane.
That's
Absolutely insane.
That's so sick. And the setup, I was just playing that Charlie Bowers thing in the background for that, and just the setup there was incredible. There were so many big parks. Like Kane, Pennsylvania had one too that was super fucking gnarly. Had a huge big spine, had a shotgun. It was like a 7-foot tall coping spine with like a sub box, wall ride combo, like the classic shit, like big hips, 8-foot quarters, 5-foot street spine, all the good shit. Like, yeah, that's so sick.
Our generation growing up had like one of the wildest fucking like setups.
Yeah,
So
very clear to see. And I mean, that just goes to show, another one of the things I was going to talk to you about is like the DIY aspect of things in BMX. It shows that that's been a part of your core literally since the beginning.
well, just fucking, yeah. What's the saying? If you can't join them, beat them.
Yeah.
I reverse that, but that sounds way better. But yeah, man, like you gotta fucking do shit yourself. Like sitting there and complaining about not having something and wanting it isn't gonna fucking resolve it.
Right.
If you want something, if you fucking want to make something rideable, if you have a rail that you want to ride but it's broken and you want to fix it, if you want to, something needs concrete, you need to fucking go kick out a dirt lip in somebody's front yard so you can have a fly out jump. Like, you gotta fix your own bike, you gotta fucking change your own tubes, everything's fucking DIY.
Yeah, it's true. It's definitely
I mean, that's
true.
even how, like, dude, that's how fucking like DK Bike started, was like a dad making parts for his son. Like,
I mean, Profile started that way too.
yeah, car parts, right?
Yeah, literally everybody's heard that story, but if you somehow haven't yet, I mean, the Profile 48 spline was invented based off of a car part and implemented into BMX.
Was it like the output shaft of like a transmission?
I think it was a steering column or something like that.
Steering column?
Something along those lines. I don't want to be totally wrong, but
Yeah, that's the only reason I literally just changed the clutch on my truck. So I was like,
Oh,
man, this thing
nice.
looks like a fucking spindle.
Right.
You know
Yeah,
what I
they
mean? When you're
do.
putting like the bearing in it, making sure everything's fucking lined up when you
Yep.
replace all that shit. Like, so yeah, the whole DIY thing is just fucking, and it's cool to be skilled.
Yeah.
Like skateboarders, look at all the shit they do. Building fucking entire skate parks and DIY projects. Like
Mm-hmm.
those dudes are fucking like talented concrete people. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're concrete workers. I mean, same with like there's a bunch of dudes like the Goat Pen dudes,
Mm-hmm.
Seamus, all those dudes fucking building bowls and shit. Like that's so fucking sick.
Yeah. Yeah, and that stuff translates into real life, like career type stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, concrete work's fucking big money, dude. Like
Yeah.
it ain't cheap, and it's a fucking great skill to have. And like you literally can learn that just fucking around with your friends because you're like, oh, this Jersey barrier, let's put some concrete on it. You go buy some fucking Marshalltowns and some Quikrete, and you fucking start learning how to trowel concrete. Like,
The one that's in Cleveland that I think Nina and somebody else did that's still rideable in there to this day.
yeah, like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's up on top, overseeing like the road below it.
Yeah.
Been there with Paul a bunch back in the day. It's been a long fucking time, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh
no, man, it's something I think that's important. People learning skills other than how to bar spin, catch bar spin.
it's yeah, and I mean you've always had that DIY look at things, and it's been talked about ad nauseum, like fixing spots and doing taking skate stoppers off and all of the stuff that you guys have done. But I don't know, it feels rare in BMX, doesn't it?
I mean, it just also might be like the way certain, I mean, companies, I mean, all of our companies are basically based out of fucking like one area.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, you're right. With
Yeah,
all the
like
perfect
everything's fucking
spots.
California. So everything there is literally like newer than my parents are old.
Yeah, well,
You know what I mean, dude? Like it's fucking like everything's fresh as shit. Like you really ain't got to do too much. And the skateboard scene out there is so big that if the runway was shitty, they already fixed it for you.
yeah.
You know, we're stuck out here in the fucking Midwest where like drunk drivers and snowfall fucking ruin things every fucking year. So you gotta fucking put in work sometimes, fix shit, take care of it, weld it. That's what I'm trying to get. I need a clip of me like bringing a fucking welder out to a fucking rail and repairing it. Because that would be just so fucking sick. Just like pulling up with the truck and just fucking welding a rail that's broken at the bottom or something and then riding it. That'd be so sick.
That
Also,
yeah.
super confusing if the police show up because they're like, "You fix this to ride it?" And you're like, "Uh-huh." And they're like, so you're not damaging property, you're fixing property."
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
send you
dude.
the bill.
Yeah, I'll send you an invoice. If you fucking try to ticket me, I'm gonna send you an invoice, all right?
Yeah, I'll paint it when I'm done. It'll look great. Just let me do my tricks, damn it.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hurt nobody. You know, I ain't gonna sue nobody. I don't give a shit if I hit my head. That's my fault.
Dude, did you see the whole thing behind Anthony Hitchcock at the ODOT building thing? All of
I mean,
that that
I
happened.
fucking talked to him all day long about that, man. He was fucking like freaking the fuck out.
Oh my god. I grew up riding with Anthony. Like
Yeah.
I was 13, 14 years old. He was coming to my local park and we were riding. So that whole situation was just seeing him posting it on Facebook and then seeing all of it was just hilarious.
Dude,
But
I was like,
sucks for
yo,
him.
don't tell him shit. I was like, I wouldn't turn myself in. Nobody, come get me. Come
Put
and
your
fucking
mask
get me.
on.
I'm sure there's tons of fucking videos of like me and my friends doing shit that people are looking for. But like, I mean, dude, we got caught one time in Dayton, Ohio, like concreting a handicap run up, like for a rail hop.
Mm-hmm.
That was like at a dilapidated church, and at like 2 a.m. we were like pouring and mixing concrete, like 7 bags too. Like we were
Whoa.
doing a fairly big fill in, and somebody called the police on us, and they like show up and they're like, "Yeah, we're fixing this ramp and we're gonna jump over this rail." And they're like, "So you're doing concrete work at 2 in the morning?" And I'm like, "Yeah, to ride your bike on it." And we're like, "Yeah. Somebody's got to fix it. This place is going to shit, man." He's like, "Man, get the fuck out of here, you dumbass kids." Like, kids, sir, I'm almost 40. I can't wait for that day when the cops pull me over. Like, they're like, I'm riding campus or something, and they're like,
Yeah.
"All right, IDs." They're like, sir, you're 37. What the fuck are you doing?
What are you
fucking call
doing?
like a sight board or some shit.
That's funny, but I don't know. I think as time goes on, that stuff almost. Do you feel like it's gonna become more acceptable with time?
I don't want it to be. I actually, if you want to talk about something, I think like BMX being involved in like Olympic sports is detrimental to our culture. And that's an opinion that I have. I think it's like a really good thing and a really bad thing at the same time, depending on which way it goes.
I feel like you could definitely talk on both sides of it.
Yeah, like prime example is like Edmund De La Rosa and how he like seen the X Games.
Yeah.
And that inspired him to ride.
Yep.
And then you can see where he took it himself and express, you know what I mean, what he did with riding and fucking how he changed the game. So like that's the pro side of it. The negative side of it is like the sport biking.
Yeah.
When you go to the skate park and it's a sport.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? The sport biker kids show up and it's time to train. Going in like fucking.
Yeah.
Like I did the sport aspect of it. I mean, dude, like the come up shit, BMX state of mind. Like to me, it's a culture. I say that all the time. It's a lifestyle. It's the way you think. It's the way you see things. That's the real interest to me is just like just not being like anyone else. And when you make BMX into like football, you scare the shit out of me. I don't like that one bit.
Yeah, I mean I could see that and I could see how that'd be like a personal, like I don't like that kind of a thing. I could just hope that for that like thought that somebody like Edwin comes out of the Olympics where you get that person who changes the culture of BMX, or even someone like Mike Aiken, for example, who literally everyone wanted to be Mike Fakins,
Yeah, who the fuck didn't like watch Square One and then like go buy a flannel and unbutton it and let it blow in the fucking wind? Like that was because of Aiken. Even the way he dressed and looked, that's how impactful some people are.
Yeah.
As individuals and as riders, his personality, his like Aiken's just like riding to fucking Slayer, the whole fuck you, like everything that is BMX. Mike Aiken, like he embodied that. Like still like if I think of BMX, he's definitely like who I think of.
Right, exactly, and I could see how you could look at things in the Olympic side of it and see how it kind of feels like it could make a generic feel to it. And
dude, have you fucking watched Nitro Circus?
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like the whole argument of like, well, if that's what people want to do and it makes them happy, then that's like totally fair. It's just,
dude, I don't know. Like I just was at a skate park here in Columbus. I don't know what the fuck one it is. It's just like some shitty prefab.
Mm-hmm.
And a father came up and was like, hey, my son wants a BMX bike. He's seen this thing called Nitro Circus, and he wants to learn how to do this. And I'm just like, I don't know what to tell you. You're going to have to start over here first. Like, you start with this, like, little jumps and maybe work your way up. But, dude, like, Nitro Circus is fucking, like, it's basically Dave Mirra, too.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane. These dudes are doing insane.
It's dead man. Like, you could straight up, bad things can happen.
It's so fucking fried, dude. Like, I'm like over here still in this world of like, damn, a sick 360, like a 360 tail whip over something is fucking like highbrow for me. I'm like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then these motherfuckers are just like triple 7,000 spin, fucking upside down, corkscrew, no hands. The bike's doing a beefy spicy fucking Slim Jim guy off of the fucking ramp, like just fucking like insane shit. I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope to God, like I can't say because obviously my time has come and gone as far as like being a kid to an adult and riding. But like the way things inspired me, like I don't know, I guess the big shit is like what hooks you. You know what I mean? Seeing that big flashy shit is what fucking hooks you.
Yeah.
But like, is that too big? Is that too much to see Ryan Williams doing a fucking bike flip, Superman tail whip, front flip, whatever the fuck's going on? Is that too much? Is that like setting the bar too high where people like get on a bike and then they're like, oh, this is impossible? You know what I mean? Like, is there that happening? Like,
it's hard to say. My
shit was like, yo, I want to be like TJ Lavin and learn a Superman seat grab over a fucking dirt jump in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Like, Okay, that's kind of achievable, and I achieved it. You know what I mean? I learned how to do Superman sea grabs over dirt jumps. Hell yeah, I did it.
Right.
Wasn't on the cover of a magazine for it, but I did the trick.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I think times have just changed. Even if you took like the street aspect of things and what someone might see at the highest level there, that is almost feels unachievable for people.
Yeah.
But I think obviously we don't know the situations of a kid who sees Ryan Williams is like, oh, that's amazing, I want to do that, but it's too crazy.
Yeah.
But what we do see is that you have an example of someone seeing Nitro Circus and being like, what, but what bike or whatever. And I think that'll more than likely be how it would go for a lot of people. Like, kid sees Nitro Circus, closest thing to that, local skate park, we'll go there, or local bike shop, talk to the people there. They get a bike, and then they find and make their own path.
Yeah, and hopefully that's like what comes from it and where it goes. I mean, that's like a subject of mine. God, I can't talk. It's just like seeing like BMX right now, especially like street riding, is so advanced.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, the culture and like the vibe of videos is all the same.
Yeah.
Everything feels the same. I don't get any fucking like, I get nothing from it.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing about who you are in this. It's all just like tricks.
Yeah, you should check out the Coloradical video that S&M just put out. It's it feels, you get the personality. You get,
it's like no, I've seen parts of it. I watched some of it. No, I know what you're talking about as far as like them talking about it too. I love that shit too. Like very Road Fools-esque.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to see the antics aside from it. Like, I don't know, man. I think there's like going to be a large push in the next few years in BMX. Like, dude, CKY is recording like a new album.
Oh, interesting.
Like 90s shit all over again. And I can see it in the politics in the world going on currently. And I can see it in the industry too. Like, there's a lot of people just like boiling in a lot of senses where they're like, yo, fuck you. I'm so sick of this shit of everybody telling me what I can't do, what I have to say, what I have to be like, who I have to be. Like,
yeah.
And BMX has always been like that fuck you to authority, to like mainstream shit. Like, that's why I get spooked, like I said, when I see like mainstream shit feeding into like our industry when our fucking biggest brands are selling the exact same as McDonald's and Coca-Cola and the military industrial complex. I'm like, red flag. This is the exact opposite way of what we should be doing. We're getting away from our roots. Like, stick to our roots. We hate everything. We don't listen. We're not compliant. We're assholes. Like, like,
yeah, sometimes,
worse, you know?
Sometimes I do find it funny when you see and you think about how people talk about BMX as this counterculture thing where people are trying to forge their own path, be their own person. The Diz Hicks, you know, like, I'm gonna be my own type of dude and F you and whatever. And then you see where things sometimes are today, where it's like, if you don't have the same opinion as me, F you.
Yeah, I mean that's essentially like how I feel with my career within BMX is just like I can't get along. I can't go along to get along. Mm-hmm. I mean, I literally got picked up by Redline and they would just tell me this. I couldn't do this. I couldn't say this. You can't post a picture of you with a gun in Idaho with Josh Halt's dad shooting. Like, you can't do that. You can't do this. And it's just like, no. Like, I can't fucking, like, no, I need to voice my opinion and be a shitbag and upset people and argue with people on the internet. Like,
yeah,
that's just, like, who I am, and I'm not going to fucking, like, jeopardize my own position, and it's not going to change me. I'm not, like, Austin Augie fucking said that before, where he was like, if you want to pay to play, you do have to kind of give up a bit of who you are. You know what I mean? And your opinions, and like not say things, not shit to go, like, to get along. You got to fucking, like, and that's one thing that I can't do.
It's a little bit like being a celebrity. You see celebrities have to not share their opinions and all of that stuff.
Garrett Reynolds, previous to Red Bull, like when he would just fucking run his mouth on Twitter.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, dude, he like literally called me out and was like, "Yeah, street flares are for attention." Literally, like talking mad shit, like
Whoa.
street riding. Everybody's doing flares, like Sexton, me, Kevin Corrali. Like,
Yeah,
he's like, yeah, street flares are for attention.
that's
Like,
funny.
you know what I mean? Just talking shit like that. Now it's gone
Yeah.
because you can't. And I mean, that's the same thing. We were like watching Netflix things on like celebrities and shit. That's why, like, when celebrities do interviews, they're just like, so what's your favorite snack? So what's your
Right.
favorite color? It's
The-
all this fucking bland shit because they're trying to sell you a bland product to get as many people hooked on it as possible.
Yeah.
Versus like somebody like a controversial figure like Bill Burr,
Yeah.
the comedian. Like, he has his niche people who like him and fuck with him, but he's never gonna get as many views or as many things as Selena Gomez.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And BMX can be the same way. And most of these major corporations, Red Bull energy drinks, want you to be this fucking like most brands anymore. I mean, how many BMX riders do you know that like smoke cigarettes but can't post them in their videos?
I have no idea. I don't pay attention.
Ah, there's an interesting thing to look into. Tons of them. I know tons of people who can't literally be filmed, or like people like are on Red Bull. You gotta have your hat on when you film a clip. Or if you're
Yeah.
gonna do something kind of shitty, they take off their hat and then go do it. Like, so they're not representing the brand while doing things.
Oh, I see what
Like,
you're
dude,
saying.
there's all sorts of shit that goes into that. That's just so fucking like, I don't know. I'm an individualist, dude. I want everybody to be who the fuck they want to be.
Yeah.
And you can say fuck you to me, and I'll say fuck you to you. But like, I still want you to be who you are. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just so weird that people have to sell out in order to. You do have to sell out yourself a little bit to fucking make money. And yeah, I just have never been one to fucking be able to do that. I don't give a fuck about money. I can make money doing anything else.
3D printing.
You can fucking do whatever, dude. Like, that's plays into the DIY. But
Yeah. So.
yeah, sorry.
No, you're
Rambling
good.
motherfucker.
No, you're good. That was all golden stuff because as part of what I've been trying to build with this whole YouTube channel is to be able to talk about things like that and say the stuff without relying on the industry to like, oh, if I say something wrong, I got to worry about my paycheck. Like, no, I'm going to get Google to pay me so that I can talk about the things that I feel like need to be talked about. And if I take a reasonable enough approach at it, people will be perceptive to it and maybe it will have an impact on BMX as a whole.
Yeah, and if anything, dude, like, maybe it's me being a Virgo Libra cusp. But the fact is, like, I like teaching people shit, dude. Like, that's why I talk and ask and say so many things, is because, like, I want to learn, and other people know things, and I want to talk to you about because you know things. I want you to teach me. Like, sometimes arguments lead into things that are, like, a positive thing.
Yeah.
Because you learn something about each other or an event or a facts, like, shit, anything. And sometimes, like, you shouldn't be in a place where you're just being quiet because, like, you're afraid to say something and potentially look stupid, or in today's culture, say something that's not politically correct.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're like, oh, well, so-and-so said this and they were upset. And then instead of being like, why is that bad?
Right.
Why? Like, I don't understand. Genuinely, I don't understand. And instead, most people just go, well, they had a negative effect from saying this word, so then I will not say that word. And they just, like, literally, that's it. And they change their behavior in the way that they, and that's bizarre to me too. Like,
Yeah.
and it's just like, why are you changing your behavior, who you are, like, without knowing why? Like, that's, I can't leave loose ends, dude. It's like the autism, dude. I'm straight autistic. I can't fucking, like, let loose ends. I need to know why. I need to know how things work. Like, why do you think that way? Why is it that way?
That's how you
Debate with-
learn.
Tell me to shut the fuck up too. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
But just fucking at least, like, have a formulated opinion back. Like, if you wanna slide in my DMs and you wanna be like, I think you should be banned off of Instagram because of the 3D printed firearms that you're making, and I rhetorically say back, I'm like, under Instagram's rules and guidelines, destruction of private property shall not be allowed to be displayed on their platform because it's destruction of private property. It's a crime, which is what BMX is. You guys are breaking the law, and what I'm doing is literally federally and state legal where I'm at. And yet you're telling me that I shouldn't be doing my shit and follow the rules, and if I don't like it, I should go to another platform or start my own. And you're also at the same time supposed to be a bike rider. Make sure you never go onto school property then. Don't jump that fence. Don't make trails on anybody else's property. And if it's
Right.
a skate-only skate park, don't you dare go in there. Like, follow the rules. Like, come on, dude. Come on, dude. That's the shit I deal with all the time.
Yeah, and those are the people that you see who are the loudest usually.
Dude, yeah, and it's just like, but they're not one thought out of like their own pretense.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, I am correct. The myopic binary that everyone seems to live in anymore. If it's not this way, it's this way. You know what I mean?
And
And
there's
it's
no
like,
possibility of the other one existing at all.
yeah, no, it's just like people are like, oh, so what's your political stance? Are you like conservative? I'm like, no. Are you liberal? No. Are you a moderate? No. And they're like, their face goes into like that mathematic meme. You know what I mean? With like the
Mm-hmm.
numbers floating around.
Yeah.
They're like,
Do 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 do.
I'm just an individual, dude. I just have no fucking, I don't think anybody should fucking tell anybody what they should and cannot do as long as they don't hurt anyone or their property
Yeah.
or belongings. That's
Yeah.
it.
I try to look at things from a reasonable approach no matter what it is instead of just immediately shutting something down for the appearance. And I personally believe that if you can't argue the other side of your opinion on something, then you shouldn't be arguing it in the first place because you aren't educated enough to hold that opinion.
Dude, fucking yeah, preach, man. Exactly. Like most people are like that. They're literally one argument. Like if you counter their argument, they're not ready for it.
Yeah.
They've invested themselves and this is the way it is and society says, or whether you're left or right, politics don't fucking matter.
Mm-hmm.
If you're only like in that space of like, I believe because I believe, and then if you get countered, they're like, immediately go to like name calling.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're some fucking snowflake liberal, or you're a fucking bigot, homophobe, transphobe, and it's like, oh, Jesus Christ, no, I literally like, it's just insane, dude. Like, and that binary logic is so fucking dangerous to our society. It's dangerous to BMX. It's fucking dangerous to fucking everything we do. It's just this whole fucking divisive shit. Like,
Yeah. But I mean,
insane.
I don't know how much you pay attention, but I feel like if there's a pendulum of this stuff, it has gone all the way out and is starting to come back right now.
That's why I said like the 90s shit, like with CKY doing an album,
Mm-hmm.
because people fucking, especially with like the COVID bullshit, all the lockdown shit, all the financial pressure everyone's on, people are ready to fucking snap, dude.
Yeah.
So many people are just like, yo, I'm so sick of this shit. I'm so sick of these people putting this shit in my face. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Like,
Yeah.
that's why I think like Gen Z kids, first time riders, first time complete bike riders, like, dude, it might be the pendulum swinging back like it's 1998 all over again.
Oh, we're
Next
gonna
thing
have...
you know, I'm gonna see fucking kids with grommet little devil belts on, wallet chains,
Yeah.
like hardcore kids who are just like wearing fucking skinny shirts, the fucking wristbands, and they're like, "Fuck you, I hate everybody, fuck you."
And dude, what's so interesting about that conversation is that like those things when they were in their peak had never really existed before that. So it was them coming into existence, but now
Yeah.
all this stuff has already existed, so people can just go into the history books and pick which thing that they want from that, and like if they resonate with it, they just can be that. And it's wild to think about that. And it's like, is there a new thing coming that we have no idea about, or is it going to be
Most
a repeat?
trends usually like circle back. Everything, we know shit
Yeah.
circles back,
Right.
but it's not exactly the same. You know what I mean? It always has its own spin to it, its
Uh-huh.
own look.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if Jinkos are gonna come back. And we're,
I think they
you know what I
did.
mean? Like, Trey Jones out there is like, dude, I got some right now. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, me too. I can't say shit. I got them too.
You
But
mean-
you know what I mean? Like, I got clips in fucking the SM video with a wallet chain on, dude. I rock that shit. I think it's fucking cool. So it will come back around, and I just like when it does and as it comes around, I just want more Gen Z kids to fucking like, because I think BMX is like rollerblading right now, dude. It's pretty fucking dead.
Mhm.
I just want Gen Z kids who are like discovering BMX for the first time to find out like what it really is. It's something that is the lifestyle, the way that you can meet so many people, the way you see things in the world so much differently than everyone else.
Yeah.
It is really something for all of us. It's a therapy. It's an abusive relationship. Like,
True.
it's a lot of things for a lot of people, but like it's home. You know what I mean? It's our thing. And I just
Absolutely.
want that to be expressed to people. And I want Gen Z kids especially like to pick up a bike, not a scooter, not a skateboard, but a BMX bike, and do cool shit. I don't care if it's riding. It doesn't always have to be like the craziest tricks. You can just go out and film with your friends, or just like use BMX as your way to vent to a world that you're like coming into a world where you're like, yep, world's gonna fucking end, economy's gonna collapse, and we're gonna get nuked any one of these days now. Going to college is a dead end fucking bet. Like,
yeah, I think
they're like, what the fuck do I do? You know what you do? You fucking pick up a BMX bike and you fucking forget about all that shit for a while because you can't focus on the conflict in Ukraine while you're trying to double peg a handrail.
right, exactly. So this might be a hot take, and maybe we have a hot take segment here. But I think there needs to be more angry riding in BMX, more
Dude,
angry stuff.
You're literally saying that, and you're talking to me. Fuck yeah, you're right, dude.
Well,
it does, dude. Like,
I mean,
like, dude, all the music I've been listening to is literally like, it's like incel core. Like, it's fucking all these like 20-year-old kids who are just like dealing with like third wave feminism, and like it's devastating effects on like the dating pool, the hookup culture. Everyone's so fucking mad. Like, yo, BMX, dude. BMX is that release, man.
Yeah,
it is an outlet for that aggression, and like it's a positive place for it. Yo, go crash, smash your fucking bike because you're mad because that girl ghosted your ass and left you on red. Like, go fucking ride, dude.
I don't like bike throwing, but I want to see somebody. I want to see somebody just with the maddest look on their face, cranking as hard as they can at this gap, and then just blasting it because their dad called them a little shithead the night before that. You know,
yeah,
like,
right? You got fucking family problems, you got girlfriend problems, you got like world problems, dude. Like, BMX is that home for you to fucking get away from that shit for just a little bit.
Yeah,
and if there was some way to encapsulate that. I don't know how to do it in videography form, or else I'd fucking be pumping it out every fucking day. But if you could, and just like market that and sell that, like, I mean, I'm doing my shit now. Like, I'm gonna be doing like shit, dude. My new like us them designs and shit. Like, they're fucking fairly aggressive. I like that.
Nice.
I need some aggressive ass shit, dude. I need some aggressive music. I need some fucking like. And it's not, there's no problem with fucking being like but dude, when you're shoving fucking be kind down my throat, like when you're just like, be kind, be kind. I'm fucking had enough, dude. It's like, you remember in school when you did those tests that were like, in the last 3 weeks, have you tried cocaine, weed, or like, remember that? And then it like, you do this whole fucking filling out, and by the end of it, you're like, yes, I do drugs every fucking day. Get rid of this. I'm sick of this shit. Like, that's where we're at. Like, you just keep telling me to be kind, be like this, be this, be this, be this, do this. Like, I'm at a point where it's like, yo, fuck you, I'm done. I don't want to fucking do anything you're telling me to do. Even if you're morally correct, you've just annoyed me to the point where it's like, fuck you.
right, exactly. And I mean, I don't know, my wanting to see more angry riders thing is more like, I feel like it would have to be totally someone else filming them, because if somebody's like angry and filming or having that filmed, it almost doesn't feel real at that point. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I want to see the temper tantrums. I wish Howard would take like some of my fucking temper tantrums. I'm sure he's got clips of me just fucking spazzing the fuck out and like degrading myself, and me throwing my bike and ripping clothes off of me, like temper tantrums over the years. But like Chris Bennett shit. Like, when I was growing up, I'd be so mad, like, trying to learn something, or, like, especially, like, landing fakie, and my gene codes would get stuck in my 48-tooth Boss Hog fucking sprocket, or Boss Cog sprocket, you know what I mean, in my 3/16th chain, and I'd fall on my back, and I just, like, throw my 48-pound bicycle. Like, that kind of shit, dude. Like, Chris Bennett was a famous bike thrower, him just ghost riding his bike off the trails. Obviously, Butcher just fucking throwing his bike into a fucking sign in ECD4.
What's the one video? Is it? I don't want to say the wrong person and then they get pissed at me, but there was a video that was, this person's name gets mad. I can't remember. All right, I'm gonna Google it or YouTube it. And like, I am not a advocate for throwing bikes at all, but I get it. I get it. Sometimes you get such a heat of rage where it happens, and what bums me out is where companies will put a clip of somebody throwing the bike that the person, like, they get given to them, and you're like purposefully destroying this bike that was given to you, and I don't know.
I mean, there's that awkward fucking, like, hey, we want to sponsor you. Oh, thanks. Oh, here's me having a temper tantrum and smashing the top tube flat with a baseball bat.
Or I need bars again. I need new bars because I messed this thing up and I threw my bike and it bent the bars. It's like,
oh man, come on! The fucking mutiny video. Throw your bike, dude.
Well,
like, that was literally the name of a fucking bike video. Like, I just literally did a thing with Little Devil, talking to Derek Adams and shit. Like, just thinking of like Seek and Destroy, where they take the bike and they fucking throw it under a train. Like, all that kind of shit, man. Like, I love that shit because that's literally like. That's BMX. It's describing that angst.
Yeah, well, I guess
we feel towards the world.
I guess where I'm getting at too with this is that I think it should all be able to exist. Like, I don't think that I realized that, like, meme pages, yeah, sometimes some of the stuff they post might suck and have real world implications. I feel like they have their place because without it, it becomes just like, oh, we're just all gonna be fake positive all the time, 100%. Everything's
toxic positivity. Man.
Everything is awesome. Which I'm the kind of person that I am fully positive, but that's just who I am. But like, if you're faking it for the sake of faking it, it's no different than things being bad. Just like people throwing their bikes is gonna exist. And the video is called Shane Weston. Shane's mad.
Shane Weston, dude, fuck yeah, man.
Shane's mad.
Shit, dude, I fuck with that heavy.
It's so, oh my.
Dude, he did some. I mean, that man was doing some of the most original riding, like the fakey cannonball shit that he was doing, the nothings, like, yeah, that man. Who the fuck did he ride for at the time?
There was an Eclat thing at
the
beginning of the video.
Yeah,
He's
just smashing shit.
So mad. But okay, so, yeah,
I mean, that's good for sales, though. That's good for sales. Bike throwing is good for sales. Come on, smash your handlebars, get some new ones.
Well, not when the company's paying for them.
No, the company ain't paying for it. You threw your bike. That's your problem, jackass. Now give me another $75.
But so, I mean, you just mentioned Howard having clips of you and your, like, things. But one thing I wanted to make sure we talked about in here is the fear aspect of things, because I can remember a time when we were riding and Colson was coming up where you were like trying to mentor him into how to turn his fear off, and I feel like it could be a cool conversation to just get your insight on what you think about fear in general.
It's a hell of a thing if you learn how to control that. And it's not something that I don't think everyone can do.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, being able to, because let's just fucking face it, there's no risk to reward ratio. It's basically 0 and 100.
Mm-hmm.
It's just all risk, and the reward is just the fact that you know that you did it and you got the clip, and then later you'll get some applause, and there you go. That's it. That's all you get out of it. But it is just like the mental thing of being able to fucking overcome that. I had a friend of mine always ask, like, how do you, like, not think of the consequences? And I'm like, I never think of the consequences.
Yeah.
All I think about is what I want to do. The hardest thing to get over is that first try, too, which I call, like, breaking the ice.
Yep.
Where you have to literally, like, you know that you have to fucking do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't fucking do something 50%. You kind of can't hop onto it. So, like,
yeah.
You got to get yourself to do that. And if you can do it, sometimes you get lucky, and that first try is all it takes.
Right.
You know what I mean? And count those blessings when that first try is the one that fucking does it. You break the ice and you roll away from it. That's a fucking blessing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the ones that you don't, but you know once you do that first one, and if you fall, jump off the bike, whatever happens, roll away from it. And I do mean literally roll, as in like tuck and roll, grandma, like fucking tumbling out of it. You're fine. You survived, and now you know what you're in for. Overcoming that is just like that first one. Being able to do that is a total mind fuck. Not a lot of people are able to overcome that, and I think it's just like, I mean, I fucking like have like, shit, man. I wish there was videos of me just like talking to myself, where I'm like in this fucking world of my own, where I'm like, if I can just get 5 seconds where no doubts come into my head, where I get no negativity. Everything's like, you focus on what you want to do, and I'm like, all right, Zach, you can do this. And I'm like, you good, Howard? He's like, yeah. He's like, and I'm like, God, I fucking like death charge myself, like get fucking hyped up, like
Yeah.
World War II shit, like I'm about to fucking charge the front lines and come out of the fucking foxhole and run towards open gunfire.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking shit that like our grandparents had a fucking, like my grandfathers, both of them literally did
Yeah.
as 18-year-olds. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, I gotta grind a handrail. Wow, scary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
The fear is just like, you can't compare those two. So why am I scared? You know what I mean? Like, why am I so scared? I know I can do this. I'm confident. I have the ability. So if I can just get this shit out of my system, because your brain's like, you're gonna die, you're gonna die, you're gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If you can just fucking turn it off for a little bit, you can do it, you know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of my process, I guess. Is kind of crazy sounding, but
I totally get it. I mean, I talk to myself anytime something takes more than, 3 attempts. I'm talking to myself like, all right, you need to do this. All right, get out of your own head. Like, why are you scared of this? Just do it. And
dude, yeah, I have like Tony Nyer had it in an interview years ago where he had like the 5 minutes or 5 run-ups. Like, that's like when I go to a thing, and if like, say we were shooting a photo or if we're videotaping, it's like, let's set up right now. Everything gotta be as fast as possible. I'm totally an asshole to people.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, there's only so much time that I can like push this anxiety and fear down and control it until it just gets to my head, and then I'm scared. And then if I'm scared, I'm not doing it.
Well, I mean, some of the stuff that you've done is legitimately bigger than anything anyone else has ever done in those respects on a bike. I mean, like, talk me through the Jaws bar spin. What is the sequence of events for that?
First would be like the few hour drive, like listening to Pantera the whole way.
There you go.
Getting some fucking like hate build up and fucking super angry.
Yeah.
And then just being like, we didn't even like warm up. I just went there and was like, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That was like, I was out on a mission on that video, dude. Like, I was out there to fucking say something. And when I'm on a mission to like make a statement, I did. And I'm happy with that. I'm happy with like everything that I've done recently and do. Like, that's something that comes with age too, is just being happy and more confident in your riding and the self-satisfaction you get from it. You don't need anybody else's approval but your own.
Oh,
at the end
yeah.
of the day. And your friends, your close friends, if they're fucking like, good job, you're like, yeah, cool. So there's a lot of things, even like the newer video, that were like a lot more challenging for me, because there's a lot more that goes into like the big brolic stuff, which is just like simple trick but like dead man.
Yeah.
Versus like the clip of me in the new one where I do like that rail, like up rail gap down rail.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in like Troy, and that thing is like an 8-foot gap, and the rails are like L'd. And that's way more of like a mental game than like bar spinning the Jaws gap, which is like, okay, go fast bar spin, hold on. That's like, okay, cool, I'm gonna charge at this L rail, hop onto it, and if I'm going too slow, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
And it's just like, maybe not die as seriously, but like charging at a rail and then going up a rail and then trying to gap to a down rail, there's a lot more that goes into that makes it challenging in an entire different sense mentally.
Yeah, fully. I mean, I can relate to that with what I do too, the technicality of it. So I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, like you just are like, yeah, totally different like mindset of like riding and shit how my stuff has changed, and it's just like a way of me finding my own personal challenges.
Yeah.
And like, that's like what I've just always done, is things that are like, this is personally challenging, even if it's just like some of the shit that I just like ride, just riding it is challenging.
Right.
Let alone like doing tricks on it. Just riding it has become a challenge. And I appreciate that with like, especially like riders like Lino Gonzalez and like Rat Kid, all like the scapegoat shit, like just things that they ride.
It ain't
just
easy.
Just riding it is the challenge half the time.
So back to the Jaws thing, just because of the sequence of events, how long from getting there to the first jump?
I don't know, not long enough for Howard to set up like a camera on top of the stairs and the VHS camera, and then him to get at the bottom.
Yeah, so you just kind of you were already in that mental state of like, all right, and then just went for it.
Yeah, that's how I am. Like usually I go scope out things beforehand and get like a picture in my head, like what I want
Mm-hmm.
to do. And once that is like in my head, how I envision things, then I can come back to it. And then all it is like overcoming that like anxiety and fear
Yeah.
to get that first one out of the way and break the ice. And then hopefully I land it. And if not, just push through until I do or don't, whatever happens.
Yeah. That makes total sense. And God dang, you've had a lot of those. Like, what was if you, was there one that sticks out? Was the roof to roof front flip the
Yeah, that's the
scariest
one that
one?
I would like. You could never, ever, ever. That's like the scariest, most reckless thing I've ever done on a bike.
What was that one in?
Hard times.
I'm gonna pull that up while you're kind of talking about it because it's worth checking out.
Yeah, that one was like the most. Dude, that one I literally like. I mean, you can talk to even like Howard was there filming it. Like, it's the first time I've done something where I did like 1,000 run ups.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, I just kept jumping it and jumping it and jumping it, and I was fucking scared to death.
Wow, that's definitely not like you.
Like usually it's like I have it in my head. Let's fucking do it. There's a whole bunch of things going into it too, like trash cans in the way, motorcycles in the way, like there's low telephone wires, like a whole lot of fucking like really like not ideal. You know what I mean? Not an
Yeah.
ideal fucking setup for it.
Well, the stuff that you don't want to have to worry about when you're doing the scariest thing you've ever done in your life.
Yeah, the little shit. That's what nitpicks a lot of the stuff is like when it gets into the fucking just the little shit in the ground, the run up, the fucking when you're dealing with telephone wires that are low hanging and you have to go under them, and then if you front flip too early, your back tire could hit them. There's a whole lot of fucking like fuckery that was like involved in that.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely the scariest. Like I would never want to do that again.
Yeah,
Ever.
well,
Ever.
there's a lot of one and done stuff, I imagine.
There's like literally like if you gave me $1 million and they're like, yeah, you can go back and refilm. Like I refilm any of my video parts before I
Before
go
that one,
back and
yeah.
fucking want to do that. That was like this like the most scared I fucking have ever been. And like I literally like called my dad and was like, I was like, yeah, I like want to do this, and he's like, yeah, if anyone can do it, it's you. So stop being a bitch. And I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna put my phone here, and next time I'm either gonna fucking I'll call you back and I landed it, or I, I'll have my friend call you because we're going to the hospital. And he's like, okay, I'll be by the phone.
God, just imagine being in his spot right there, thinking about like, all right, we're waiting to hear back on this thing my kid's voluntarily doing.
Yeah, literally, like I'm choosing to do this at my own free will, like
Right.
with nothing gonna come from it. No monetary fucking like no Red Bull, no fucking jumping from the stratosphere, Bumgardner fucking paycheck, like fucking nothing.
Yep.
Literally nothing from that. And that's fucking you tell that to a normal person, they can't even fucking they're like, I went on a roller coaster.
Yeah, dude, I was literally just gonna bring up like think about that from a normal everyday person's perspective and it's like totally inconceivable. It's like telling somebody to go full speed like they're going at a stoplight and they have no idea if it's going to turn green or red. Tell them they're just going to push the gas as hard as it like all the way to the floor and they're just going to go through it like
Yeah.
that's what you're going to do, and you're either going to make it through and it's going to be fine or you're going to be broken.
Yeah. Like that's literally some shit that like yeah, it's fucked up, man. I can like relate to the PTSD shit because I get so in my head about like what I want to achieve,
Mm-hmm.
and fortunately I have achieved that and like landed it.
Yeah.
But then like late at night, I'll fucking literally just fucking like even right now I'm feeling like anxious as fuck because I just start running my head through like holy shit, I almost overshot the whole thing. I
Yeah.
almost fucking like went off the side. I almost like this could have happened. This could have happened. You like
Yeah.
sit up at night sweating like, holy fuck.
I did it. I'm glad I
Yeah,
got it.
I could have fucking died, dude. Why the fuck did I do that? Like, it's
In
total PTSD shit. Like,
in your you're like, oh my god, I'm glad I'm in the universe where I pulled it.
yeah, right. The multiverse theory. I'm like, God, thank God this one worked out. Thank God this one fucking worked out, dude.
Feel
Yeah,
bad
like,
for the Zack in the other universe where it didn't happen.
yeah, I don't want to. That's literally like the scariest of all scary clips. Was that? That is the gnarliest thing I've ever done. I will never come close to that. I don't want to ever come close to that.
Yeah.
Like, scariest, most mentally ill, fucked up thing I've ever done, ever.
So, take it another direction with that clip. If that setup was a pyramid with no gap and it was 16 feet wide, would you be front flipping that all day long easily?
Oh yeah, and especially like not doing it off of shingles.
Right.
Making it way easier because it's not fucking like rolling on that shit. It feels like slow as fuck. It's super
Oh my
weird.
god, yeah, horrible.
Yeah, like just pedaling full speed, hopping onto a roof, jumping a gap under telephone wires, like
4 feet
around
wide,
garbage
probably.
cans and motorcycles and recycling bins, and like having to hop on, turn, and adjust to be straight. It's only fucking like, I don't know, 4 foot wide ish, 5
Yep.
foot. Like, it's narrow, dude. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
your tires in a safe spot puts your bars, within a
Yeah.
foot or so of the walls.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like an L wall too, where like it's blind because you're upside down. Like
Hmm.
going full speed, and it's like a tree line. It's a drop off roof too. Like, and then you just like remember like you're old enough to fucking have had the fucking Ride BMX magazine where Nate Wessel did it to manual and fucking died.
Oh god, yeah. So you got to
And he
think
fucking
about
dropped
that.
front end right at the worst time, literally like what I almost did. Like,
Yeah,
fuck, dude. Like, yeah, it's terrifying. That was literally like the worst idea I've ever had.
Well, it worked out.
Yeah, right.
How?
At night, I'm sleeping in. Just
Yeah.
like,
Wake up, and you're just like,
yeah,
girlfriend's like, Zach, you pulled it. Go back to bed.
yeah. I like literally just lunge up, like night panics.
You got it. You didn't crash. Go back to bed. It's okay. I'll see you in the morning.
Yeah, dude, it is like that. It's fucking scary.
Oh, jeez. So, have you talked about in one of these before about how the concept of like front flips downstairs or the flare off the loading dock, like where those ideas originally came from?
Not really. I can fucking mention.
I'm curious.
I mean, I was doing them over box jumps, like one of the first people doing the pop style.
Right,
And
with brakes.
You can fucking hit up Daniel Durs and Ryan Gutler and all those fuckers and remind them that I taught them at Woodward Camp, because I totally fucking did as a camper.
Yeah.
Just doing that pop style. I don't know what it was. I literally was riding a foam pit and I was like, I'm Matt Behringer. And whatever the fuck, I popped like that. It just kind of happened.
Yeah.
And the dude who was like the skate park resi dude, who was like, he's like, you have to do that on the resi right now. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I did on the resi like 3 times. He's like, he closed down the fucking park. Like, what's the one at the top? I don't know, Cloud 9.
Yeah, Cloud 9.
And then we went to the one with the box jump and Mount Everest and shit, whatever
Lot
it is,
8.
Lot 8.
Yeah.
And he literally like made the skateboarders stop riding.
Wow.
And got like John Sexton to fucking film it, and like
Yeah.
my friends filmed it on their camera, and I just did it over the box jump. And then it was like, and Ryan Gutler was there, Daniel Durs was there. They're
Yeah.
like in the background filming it, like, so yeah, that was like the start of it as far as box jumps go. And then I was actually riding the Flow 2, and Anthony Napolitan was there, and Craig Mast.
Yeah.
And they were doing it off like a 2-foot kicker. Like,
Which one?
You remember like where the stairs were, the handrail?
Yeah.
And they put that kicker in front of the stairs, and we're doing it like flat
They're
out
doing
to the
it
top.
up the stairs? Holy crap.
And they were like, yo, Zach, you got to do it. And I'm like, no, I just like, the smallest thing I've done was like the box jump that was like in the middle room,
Yeah.
like the smaller box.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, no, try this. And I fucking did it there, and it was just so much easier.
Whoa.
Because when you do it off of something like without a lip,
Mm-hmm.
you can kind of just pop forward whenever feels right.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You don't have to have the timing like on a box jump. You got to pop exactly at the right time. If you pop too early, you're pushing through Behringer style. And if you pop too late, you're going to do that shit where you like let go of the bike and you like swim through the air.
Yeah.
Like that kind of shit. And after that, I was like, holy shit. And I just started doing it off of like dumb shit, like wedges and fucking. And then like probably only in a few months, I did it downstairs.
Yeah, and then the one over the rail. I'm playing that one on the screen right now. 'Cause
Oh, well. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was from my ride interview too.
I remember when you did that because it was when I was still living in Columbus. I feel like I saw it or something and just talking about it. And it's so crazy that you just found it easier to do things off like stuff like that.
Dude, I was doing like front flips over box jumps before I could tail whip or bar spin. I literally like was not kidding when I said all I could do was 360s, turn downs, and front flips.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I mean, and front tire grabs. I could do front tire grabs too.
oh, hell yeah. Well, yeah, because I can remember the video of you at Ridgeway, like a 13 or 14, however many years old you were,
Yeah.
doing front flips over the box jump and doing tuck no handers at the same time. It was like,
Yeah.
and the turn downs and everything. And it's crazy that, I don't know, it's to think about it evolving to that place is something that you just wouldn't think about. And so, like, the first one downstairs, where does that come from? Where's the
I mean,
thought?
that was it's in my hometown and it's actually my old elementary school.
Oh, nice.
And it's like a 9 stair and it has like that sidewalk at the bottom but that goes to grass.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, grass, nice and safe. I think I literally was running like a DK frame. I had a gyro on. I probably had a fucking like an elementary stem on or something to totally date my ass.
I had one. It's okay.
Yeah, right. Like totally landed. My bars moved. Of course, they always moved. But yeah, that just came about because I don't know, dude. Before that, I had like front flipped like a 2-foot like dirt mound
Yeah.
like next to the skate park, and then like I was like, dude, if I can fucking do that, I bet you I could do it downstairs. You know, I think I'd done it like the side of a foam pit. Like I was like, fuck it, let's try it. I
Yeah.
like looped out like a few times, and then I pulled one and like slipped the foot, and then went back and did one, didn't slip the foot. So I literally did it twice in a row,
Oh my gosh.
just for good measure. And I mean,
Yeah.
that was, dude, I was just like fresh out of high school kind of shit.
That's so insane. I mean,
Dude, I couldn't 360 the stairs, but I front flipped them.
it's just okay. So that's just kind of how it is for some people in BMX. It's just some things work
Yeah.
that way, and I don't know how to explain it, but the things.
Yeah, that's why I always found what was crazy is about trying to like scale people's tricks.
Yeah.
Some people can just it's just a weird thing. I don't know whether it's the way your body physique is, how tall you are, XYZ.
Your
variables.
sponge. I mean.
But yeah, some people can just do things more naturally, easier than other people. So to say
Mhm.
like all bar spins are the same is kind of like,
Yeah, it's a weird.
some people like have a hard ass time doing that, man. Like
right.
me, I can't, dude. I used to do bar spins the wrong way. I literally was bar spinning the wrong way. Then I had to learn how to do them the other way. And before that, I was like fucking front flipping boxes. I was front flipping boxes before I could back flip, tail whip, or bar spin. Like,
So front flips are just kind of they came for you. It's just
yeah, just because they weren't like scary to me. Because like back flips are scary. Because if you under rotate, you're going front wheel first.
yeah.
If you under rotate a front flips, you just like fall on your ass. For better or for worse, you can totally
Yeah.
get fucked up landing on your back, but
Right.
or on a fence like Anthony Napolitan.
Jesus Christ, that going around the
Pitfall,
past
Mortal
couple
Kombat,
days.
dude. Rodeo
Freaking
Peanut. That's like the best video ever.
Instagram Reels bonus, baby. Let's get paid from those views.
Fuck yeah, he should get paid for that shit, dude. He's lucky to be fucking alive.
I'm talking about everyone else reposting it.
Well, yeah, they're all sharing it. They're like, oh shit, man, I gotta get that $100. Fuck.
Yeah, but the front flip thing has just always been intriguing because, all right, how the hell did I forget to bring this one up? The Dirty East 2006 front flip. I mean, this is where I first saw you, was that front flip down the freaking dead man gap at the
Just a
float.
fucking flat, blew out my wheel and had like Chris Gerber give me one of his.
Yeah.
That was my first clip on the come up, dude. That
Just
was the first time. That was like the first person, and everybody thought I was Chris Gerber too.
oh, that
And then that motherfucker used to tell everybody that we were brothers. I'm like, dude, you're from Indiana. I'm from Pennsylvania. I don't know you, critter. You fuck.
So who's that? Was that your idea? Did you have that planned ahead of time, or
Yeah, because I had done one before then.
off of that?
Yeah, if you look up like at a Bad Omen video part, we stacked like fucking 3 picnic tables on top of each
Oh,
other.
you've showed
like,
me that.
at my like football field
Yeah.
in my hometown, and I tire tap front flip that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, I can do that. I want to do it at a fucking contest. It's sick that I still didn't win best trick.
What?
Matt Sparks did when he flared the channel. Yeah.
You've got to be kidding me.
Motherfucker, nobody wanted me to ever win the Dirty East contest. I got fucking robbed every year. Admit it.
Oh,
Admit it,
my
Craig.
God.
Where's Craig at?
No.
I'm gonna fucking hassle his
way.
ass.
How do you not win with that? In hindsight, if there's anyone who says that shouldn't have won, that just doesn't add up.
And then like the next year, I flared the channel like in my runs, and then I did like the wall ride to flare that Joey Hill was trying.
Yeah.
I fucking truck drivered that like 7-foot wedge to flat into like the rhythm section.
I was
and
there.
Shit.
I was literally there for all of that.
360 the fucking 360 tuck no hander the channel gap to fakie. Dude, that contest was fucking sick.
Yeah, I was.
Old contests were so sick because it didn't fucking matter. Like Monkey foo-fanooing the fucking giant back wall.
The green one? Oh
Yep.
my God, I remember that. Dude, so here's the thing. I was there. Where is it? Let me just pull this out real quick and doesn't even matter, but I'm going to do it. I was there filming that contest on this camera, and I still have
JVC.
I still have all of the footage. I never edited it, but I still have it all. So I
That's
can
so sick.
edit that together and have that come out. What I also have is the last Dirty East contest footage that I never edited. So
Dude, that's sick.
that's
a lot
all
of
there.
shit, man.
My camera died.
All those contests were so sick because nobody ever really remembers who won. You just remember like what people did.
Mm-hmm.
And you remember like what happened at like the night's end. You remember you remember Glenn Johnson beating up Zach Warden. Like you remember that shit. You remember Vince Smith getting tackled by some random dude because he jumped onto his car off the roof of the hotel on his bike and him getting like choked up. You remember the fucking weird like underground party that was like a hole underneath the hotel, and there's like all these weird string lights underneath it, and there's like a rave party going on underneath, and you're just like all this weird fucking Ohio shit. Like those kind of contests are like, that's what I'm talking about, dude. I don't give a fuck about like your winning run.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Can those contests happen in 2023?
I've been trying to talk to Howard about making a fucking like making the Gummo Pro.
Yeah.
Leo, let's fucking for real. We should all get behind this instead. You remember the Jomo Pro?
Yeah.
But we'll call it the Gummo Pro, just because obviously it's fucking Ohio, Gummo, all that shit, and just having like some fucking like, what would it be? Like the FBM style fucking
The
pallet
ghetto
ramps,
yeah.
just fucking shitty Ohio style. I don't know. Have like a downhill course or something like Gummo. You know what I mean? Like on a hill and like some street style like tour setup, but it's all like just shitty fucking cars and pallet ramps and dangerous ass shit. Like something very Ohio, something very like reckless as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, my buddy Trevor he put on a Changa contest, and the first time he did it with run format, so you only had 45 seconds or whatever. Then this last time he did jam format because he's trying to remake the Changa contest vibe and like the mid 2000s vibe of contests. So like he wants that to happen, but I just don't know. I don't know how to do it.
It's hard because I think like with indoor skate parks, it's a challenge. Like the outdoor setting might be the more better way to go, just because you can, with today's riding, I think that's what it is. Just like what obstacles people prefer to ride.
Mm-hmm.
Skate parks are more challenging for like the street kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but if you totally like, dude, I'm talking about I thought it'd be funny too if we just did like a downhill course, and it starts like hell track style, like fucking rad.
Death
But
drop
then at the
in.
bottom of the hill, it just narrows down with like Jersey barriers, like one handlebar wide.
Oh my god.
You have 50 riders to bomb the hill.
That's
Death match. That'd be fucking insane. Like,
literal.
dude, there you go, Florida Swamp Fest. That's a fucking idea. Like the downhill narrows the fucking pathway, and there's like ramps and obstacles in the way, or like just some wild shit like that.
Dude, where they do Swamp Fest at has like a racetrack type deal inside. It's a dirt bike, like I think it's like a dirt bike pump track type thing. But
Yeah.
they could totally make a race and have it get skinnier and wider and put stuff in the way and something
Yeah,
like
that'd
that.
be super funny, and just see like people like charging ramps and fucking, I don't know, chaos, dude. Because that sort of shit, like people with a fucking coaster rail loop, like those are the things that like make memories.
Yeah.
And
Make
that's,
legends.
Like, yeah, that's what makes legendary shit. Like
Yep.
people getting fucking, even if you crash, people remember that shit. Like,
Oh yeah.
so that's like what's sick about things like that, and I think those are important. So I mean, I'd like to see more. I would like to participate in more.
Mhm.
I'm obviously always down for shithead behavior. So
Yeah.
we could have like a fucking contest where we just like, I don't know, push fucking dumpsters down hills. That'd be fucking sick too. I don't care.
That's funny. I think that idea should definitely happen at the next Swamp Fest.
Imagine you just gotta fucking like, there's a downhill and you gotta race a dumpster, or you get crushed by it. Like
It's like some Crash Bandicoot.
people are just like fucking at the bottom with alligators and shit. They're just holding them. Like
That's
fucking,
funny.
you get bit by an alligator at Swamp Fest. That'd be pretty. Imagine telling people that you got like a scar on your arm. Yeah, I got bit by a gator at Swamp Fest. Like,
Yeah. There's kind of an interesting question along these lines. Somebody asked, if someone puts up a 3K prize pool, what kind of return can you make? Just the money, not $3,000. Not from a contest.
as far as like, what do you mean prize? Like if somebody donates some money and then like goes into it, or like,
I don't know, but I don't think you're making $3,000 from a contest unless there's 200 people there riding.
I don't know. I've always like, sometimes I want to talk to Dorito and con him into fucking doing this shit, but like Dorito's like, if people die, I will donate money. Like he's always been like, when we used to do shows and shit, he's like, yeah, he's always talked about wanting to do that and put money up, just because he like, because that is a thing, man. You want, like, dude, when we rode those contests, like you did want to die. Like you were like, I don't know what the hell like was the vibe at like those contests, but like you were literally like, you just had no regard for safety. You were just like, all right, I'm gonna fucking, things that you always thought about doing at a skate park. You're like, now's the time.
Yeah.
This wall is 20 feet back. I
Yep.
know that I will not get close to it, but I'm gonna try. Like,
Yeah.
just launching your corpse at shit. Like, sometimes you got lucky, sometimes, and you just made stories and shit, dude.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I don't know if you can recreate. I don't know how you do it. Do you make it a best? I don't know. I guess it's all in the format of the thing so that people can go crazy if they want to, but I don't know if people are going crazy like that anymore.
People are, and especially like in crowds, people tend to get like more insane because
That's
it's like
true.
the crowd mentality. People getting like, you know, people like getting behind them and pushing them into something.
Yeah.
Once again, I think it would just be like, you'd have to really like consider your obstacles. You know what I mean? Like, what
Mhm.
can you do? Because a lot of times, in like, money's not necessarily anything that goes into it. It's more of just like an event, you know what I mean? Like a story for people to come and hang out and drink and smash stuff and start a fire and spray paint the ramps and and you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like that's like what people are into. Like they want it to be the gathering for the juggalos, but for BMX riders. You know, like
Yeah.
that's what they want to do. They want to fucking release all this fucking like pent up shit where they're sick of the fucking world for a fucking weekend. And I don't know, if you could just like make obstacles that allow people to be creative and be reckless at the same time with like their stunts, their back rail foo-fa-noo abilities, their
Uh-huh.
like, I thought it was sick, dude. Like, they did that like rail jam in wherever the fuck it was. They just like made that big dumb fucking rail.
Yeah.
I thought
Oh,
that was
the
pretty
9th
fucking
Street.
sick. Yeah, like
Yeah.
wherever the fuck that was like overseas, wasn't it?
Well, are you talking about?
Yeah, for that source contest or whatever the fuck it was, or that I don't know shit, dude. I know Garrett Reynolds just did like every trick, and so did fucking
I can't
Lou.
remember.
The guys fucking destroyed it. It's just like a BDR, a big dumb rail, and they're just fucking doing banger shit on it.
Gotcha.
I thought that's a sick setup for like modern.
Yeah.
Battle of Hastings.
Yeah, it was the rail jam before it on the street
Yes.
spot.
Yes. That's what the fuck, like for modern shit, a rail that's like pretty low, pretty mellow, and it's just like all wooden shit, and then just like get people around that to just get fucking dumb on.
Yeah.
Could be something that like in a modern setting could be really fucking sick. Or make it extra stupid and like make one big dumb rail and then make one that's like a coaster rail, make like a big dumb hubba for like your street aspect of it. And then at the bottom put like a fucking like a wedge drop in so you could fucking do like big sub box tricks.
Oh yeah.
Like a big bank sub wall on it too, and then also have a Euro up the stairs. So it's like a win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
Where like you're doing gnarly down rail tricks and then the quarter pipe's just to turn around, or then like your monkey dropping in and tail whip the fucking ice pick the rail on top of the bank to sub. You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit would be a sick setup, and it's kind of containable.
Yeah.
That could be a fucking fun setup. I think that's what it is mostly the setup. So you allow everybody to express and display their abilities. So I think that's why skate park is kind of limiting. Because it is for a different generation and a different style of riding.
That makes sense.
It doesn't allow for those like big brawl like BDR like fucking all right, it's a 15 stair handrail, die. You know what I mean? That'd be sick too.
What it reminds me of is the one time the Toyota Triple Challenge thing set up with a bunch of shipping containers and wooden ramps and flatbed trailers that Trey Jones organized into a setup. And they threw everyone at it. Street dudes, park dudes, whatever. And everybody just sent it and rode it. And I think with that type of a setup, like what you're talking about, you just take a parking lot, you put shipping containers in there, you put wooden ramps in there, build rail type stuff, put it all together. And then you throw everyone at it, and you format the judging correctly to where you're allowed to mess up. You're allowed to, you don't have to have a perfect 45-second run to have a chance, and I think people will let loose.
Yeah, I think, and that would be cool with like a stair setup that had multiple different rails and a hubba. Yeah. And then it also had like, how you can do like, 5 stair and then drop into a wedge.
Yeah.
So then the park riders could drop into that and then have like a big quarter with a wedge on it, or like a wedge sub or like wall ride thing. So like everybody can get their technical shit on. You're gonna have the one kid on top who flares into it. You're gonna have the kid who's foofing in the back rail, hurricane wall slaps, people doing the rail backwards, 540 in the stairs, like also coming back up it, you know what I mean? People jumping up it, hitting the rail, coming up it, you know what I mean? You could come off the Euro, grind the rail, 543 hard whip, whatever the fuck they're doing now. You know what I mean? All that sort of shit, hanger variations out of the wedge on the up rail. All that shit could that would be a setup that would allow everybody, and I think that's a fairly simple thing to create. And then at the end of the day, if you could fucking, then smash it and burn it, fuck yeah, that fucking fulfills everybody's fucking...
Yeah, just put it in the middle of a giant parking lot so nothing could catch on fire, and you just send it.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Just, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I mean the what the hell did you say? The cargo containers. You know what I mean? Okay. Fuck it. We need a Woodstock 99. You know what I mean? We just need somebody get Limp Bizkit, have them set up the Sunoco gas station in Dayton, and we're gonna fucking ride some cargo containers and a big fucking handrail and a fucking big quarter pipe with a good old 5-foot quarter pipe with a good sub rail and hitching post and I don't know, all that shit. Where's Billy Woodfin? Get him in here. Get Corey W. Where's his ass? Build us some ramps, dude. Let's get an event going in Ohio. Yeah. Let's show them how fucking Ohio holds it down.
Hell yeah.
We're like the best, worst place ever.
That's funny. So Bo wanted me to ask you. He messaged me earlier about I mean something about you're like an animal advocate and you like to save raccoons in New Jersey New Jersey?
Oh, he's fucking. Oh, we were at this fucking airplane testing facility that did like aerodynamics.
Mm-hmm.
Corey Walsh has a clip in it. It's like a giant ass half pipe where
Oh,
they
okay.
test like airplane wings and shit.
Yeah.
And we were there, and a raccoon had fucking like fallen and gotten injured, and he was hurt, and I was trying to nurse him back to health, but that was a very failed attempt.
Oh, that
And I
sucks.
like carried him with us everywhere, and I had him like in the car in like a shirt of mine, and he ended up dying when we were out getting pizza, and I came back, and then I just was like, well, you came from the trash, I'm putting you back in the trash. Like, somebody's like random trash can got a fucking poor like adolescent raccoon.
Damn.
But this year I've caught a bunch of fucking raccoons and possums in the yard.
Yeah.
Just little baby ones, because I always like feed animals in this neighborhood, because fuck with possums, they're like my favorite creature. I caught a raccoon this year too, a little baby one, had them in my car. They're mean motherfuckers.
Oh yeah. They can be for sure, and they're scrappy.
Yeah, motherfucker, like I tried to get him to eat some fucking. I just seen him like trying to cross the road, and he was like a little bit too young.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't like climb a tree, so I just like threw a t-shirt on him to get him like off the road.
Yeah.
That motherfucker was just mean as dog shit, dude. Like just mean. Possums aren't bad. You can just like pick them up.
Oh, that's funny.
But raccoons, they're fucking mean.
That's funny. Can you tap the camera button a couple times? And
Camera
uh,
button,
yeah, it froze
just
again.
turn off.
Yeah, but
That's weird. You look like HD on this side versus
well,
before. It was like fucking Minecraft pixelated.
yeah, well. So I got a couple more things here. What do you and Corey Schneider consume as young people that give you the anti-aging drug?
Damn, Corey's the fucking out of our group of friends. He's like one of the last few that like. Well, number one isn't dead, or in jail, or on drugs. So shout out to Corey. Also, Corey's fucking extremely talented on fucking
Oh, he's
anything with two
incredible.
wheels. Um, I don't know, dude. Too much Mountain Dew.
You both like talking to him. I talked to him at Woodward. Apparently,
Yeah,
they were almost the same age, and he was just extremely young when he was in those videos with you at was it Allegheny Skate Park,
yeah, with like Hattrick and Miller and Todd, all the dudes.
the
Yeah.
indoor skate park.
Ugh, dude, I'm just waiting for my hair to fucking keep going, and I just get a sick skullet, dude. That's what I want. Just fucking, just look like complete trash. It'll be
Oh
sick.
my god, that's funny. But yeah, I just wanted to bring up Corey's name because I remember him in those videos with you, and just then talking to him, being like, "So like, how do you guys not age?" And then finding out he's like my age. I'm like, "So what were you 12 in the videos with Zach? Like, what the hell?"
Oh yeah, I don't know. Something in the water out there, dude. I don't know. We're all just fucking like a bunch of Germans in the fucking mountains, dude. I don't know what the fuck it is, but
That's funny. It's
yeah,
okay.
Corey's the sickest.
Yeah, he's incredible and super nice guy.
Oh yeah,
Um, so we made it a whole almost 2.5 hours without talking about 3D printing at all. So
that's
maybe,
funny. It's because I just came from doing all that shit. I was just fucking the other podcast.
well, I'm gonna, I'll show this and say because I don't know if you've been thinking about it all, but I have not forgot about this. I just have been too busy, and
Oh, you're all
it's
good.
gonna happen. But have you got new stuff? You just posted a new pedal concept that is super sick. Do you have one close by?
Um,
The spindle?
I can go get one in my basement.
Yeah, do that and I'll
Give
just
me, give
go
me one
over it.
second. I'm gonna fucking adios. I'll be right
Yeah,
back.
grab a couple things.
Okay.
So what he's grabbing right now is a insert, maybe not an insert because it's a sleeve that goes over an existing pedal spindle that converts it to be the same as the Odyssey pedal spindle, so you can use other pedal spindles in the Odyssey shells or the shells that he's making that have plastic pins on them versus the metal pins. or the grindable ones on the bottom. And it's just a really cool DIY, once again, concept that I am intrigued by. Just it's
I'm gonna
so
go get
sick.
more.
Okay, that's cool.
Sorry.
No, you're good. So I wanted to close this one out talking about the 3D printing and stuff because it's just so cool what he's got going on. And if people haven't seen it yet, there's also a 40-minute or something video on my channel about 3D printed pedals and just Zack talking about different stuff with him. But for people who haven't seen it, it's just rad.
Okay, I got my cow coffee, so you know.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so these are actually going out to Mr. Bobby. What's his last name?
I thought that Bobby shared that, but I thought it might be for Billy. Bobby Altizer.
Yes, that's it. I made these for him. These are samples of the new spindles. There's a bunch of other dudes who are printing them too, because I am starting to formulate terrible redneck language. I apologize. Formulate some.
Formulate.
Yeah, right. Other individuals in the community, people are getting printers for Christmas because they're so damn cheap anymore.
Yeah.
And just like being able to rapid prototype and build things together. And the dudes at like the
Yep,
Matt. Matt Smith and Mr. Lougheed, if I'm saying his last name correctly.
And Kevin.
He's a printer as well, so he beta tests and stuff with me as well.
God
but the
it,
new
it froze
concept
again. It froze again, and you're trying to show something. Of course.
Of course, right?
Yep.
It's funny because on your end, you're fucking like crystal clear. I don't know.
That's super weird.
On
It's still frozen.
Still frozen.
It came back for a second and then said, "See ya."
God
It
damn.
seems that. All right, let's try this reconnecting thing one last time and hope that it works. I'll call you in 2 seconds. Can't lose out on the 3D printing discussion. All right. God dang it. All right, so what were you showing?
Okay, yeah, that's insane. I don't know what it is, man. Maybe it's because like how long, and it's just like the bandwidth can't handle it.
Yeah, who knows?
So okay. This is one of the spindle designs.
Yep.
So what it is obviously the JCPC pedals require like the OEM ones have like the specific spindle for them.
Yep.
And obviously those are older than me. You know what I mean? That was shit that like when I was 20 was like popping.
Mm-hmm.
And finding spindles for those or the pedals entirely, usually you have to buy like the whole thing off of fucking eBay or like I mean there ain't shit. Odyssey ain't getting them, like especially all the shit going on with like China's zero COVID rules and shit. Like obviously it's not a priority for them.
Right.
So that creates a supply strain on this pedal design.
Right.
So what I've come up with using both, because you and I had talked before too, that we know that there's different loose ball spindles out there.
Yep.
Ones that have like a 12 millimeter socket on the end nut, and then there's the one that's like a 9 millimeter.
Yep.
That are like in your BSD, Rat Trap,
Yep.
Safari, whatever the hell name, brand, blah blah blah. They're like, you know, one's longer, one's 114 mil, one's 117 mil, one's longer, one has different outer diameter, inner diameter. They're all changing a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did, I came up with an idea of shims, or a conversion kit for your traditional. This one right here, I took these out of some Odyssey twisted PC pedals.
Yeah.
Which this is the 114 millimeter long spindle, and then the shim fits over top of it. It tightens down with the washer and nut on, and these will work in like the OEMs, and they'll also work in the 3D printed bodies as well. So, and these are also my third versions, which are pretty cool because I have like the cutouts in them. They're also
nice.
Way thicker in comparison to like the version 2s the different undersides and shit like that. So
Mm-hmm.
thicker, different pin design. Once again, working with riders and people in the community, we come up with ideas. Hey, could we do this? Could we do that? But yeah, so this conversion kit fits the like the older pedal spindles, and then this is the sleeve for the other one. Has the outer bushing piece. This fits like the BSD Safari pedals, the Animal Rat Trap pedals. So I'm trying to make it so like any old loose ball bearing pedals you have laying around,
Yeah.
that you could just convert them by recycling the spindle and then putting them into these pedals.
Right.
I'm trying to think of something where I might do like pedal recycling, where like somebody sends in their pedals and you get like, I don't know, a deposit, we'll call it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And then I recycle the spindle out of there.
Right.
And then I build them pedals. And then the other plastic, I have to look into being able to actually recycle that as well here at a local facility to make it into 3D printing filament.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, because nobody's doing that shit, dude. Everybody literally breaks something, you just throw it away. And that's so fucking wasteful.
Right, because you don't know, like, up till this point, you don't know what else you could even do with it.
Yeah,
It's
literally, like,
worthless
think
at
of how
that
many
point.
fucking plastic things are in the ocean, bike parts, because, and I am the least environmental person. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
but it's just like, dude, if you can conserve and you can make cool things and you can do it yourself,
Mm-hmm. Why
why
not?
not?
Right.
Yeah.
That's a super cool concept, and for anybody who wants to know more about all that 3D printing stuff, I feel like we covered it pretty extensively when we talked the first time. So like, check that video out, watch the bike check to see all of the parts you did. Have you gone further with the bottom bracket thing?
I have released the file out for individuals because a lot of it's interesting because America is totally different than like Europe. I'm just gonna say that because the European homies are just all about it. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot more people in other countries who are all about 3D printing or have friends who do it or fly drones and they use it to make parts and you know what I mean. Like, so they eat it up, and especially with release like the STEP files, the step files. Like that's how you open it on like CAD. And then you can manipulate it. You can edit it to be whatever size you need because obviously there's no universal bottom bracket size. I kind of want, and I might do this. I was thinking about doing like frames with like quartz.
Yeah.
And just doing like a small batch of frames that came with the guard on
nice.
them.
Yeah.
And it came with like shims for like a 19, 22, or 24 spindle. It fits that particular frame. I'd include like 3 guards with it.
Yeah.
And I just call it like the Killdozer or something fucking sick.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Right? Like it's got the bottom bracket guard. I figured that'd be a sick name.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that could be fun to do. But yeah, if you can edit the files and stuff, I know that's a bit much right now, and I would like to make more. You know, the universal thing is just like the bottom brackets are also different. Some of them like the dog bone design.
Right.
Some of them are just like smooth ones, like the solid built ones for American made frames. So it's a bit of a pain in the ass, but it's also something that, like, you know, engineering wise, it's just fun. It's a challenge.
Yeah, well,
this is a challenge, you know.
It's you having to get hands on with every one of those bottom bracket on a frame so that you can make it too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not exactly easy to do.
Yeah. So that's why like the easier solution I think would be like, number one, if you want to do it yourself, here's everything to do it yourself. I'll gladly let that information out. And the other concept is to do something working with like a frame company where it comes already existing on the frame.
Yeah. Which would be
and
sweet.
And then there you go. You want this, get this frame.
Yeah.
So that's where I would want to go with that. I still might run with that Killdozer idea because that's aggressive as fuck, and I fuck with that. It's pretty cool. Do like yellow frames, make up some sick decals, and then have like the guard on it. You know what I mean?
That would be pretty
have
sick.
It say like sometimes reasonable men must do unreasonable things, like on the down tube. Like,
yeah.
That'd be tight.
That'd be pretty hilarious and fitting.
But yeah, it's cool that you can like these tops that I make. the plastic pins, because plastic pins are nicer than the steel pins that are OEM. Like, makes your shins not as afraid. And
Yeah.
then these are hot boy because grinds are like pedal grinds are fucking everybody's doing that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And these like fit with the OEMs. These bushing designs fit with the OEMs.
Yeah, it's so sick.
You know what I mean? So you have a bunch of options. Like, it's cool that if you want to just like, cool, you run the OEM tops and you just need some of these, you can
Mm-hmm.
get these. If you want to, I don't know. I plan on like finally like getting around to making like a actual place to order them, do something like that, because I just got like shirts and stickers and shit for us them. So I'm probably just gonna fucking eventually. I gotta fucking make a website to
Yeah,
actually be able to purchase that shit.
it's dude, do Shopify. It's super easy and it works.
Dude, so my biggest thing is like I gotta get like I'm so like adamant about getting things tested because you can run like through like Fusion 360, like my CAD program. I can do like stress testing,
Yeah.
but like it don't mean shit.
Right.
Like, even think of like Odyssey and the R32 forks.
They're
They literally
testing.
did some of the most rigid testing I've ever seen.
Right.
And yet I cracked the fucking dropouts from every time of me tightening the wheel down, loosening it, tightening it down, loosening it. And that fatigued it enough that it cracked the welds and the dropouts. None of the
Yeah.
other shit stressed it, but that sort of test is real world versus the mechanical test. Just like a CAD program can only do forces in certain directions.
Right.
So being able to like have it product tested by like real people and people like of all skill levels and riding levels, I think is like, important too. Because like the way you ride is different than the way I ride versus a kid who just started versus
For
somebody
sure.
who's been riding for 30 years. Like,
Yeah.
so
For sure.
yeah.
There's I totally understandable like barriers to entry for you on that for taking that next step with it. Somebody asked, where'd it go? What printer would be recommended for a starter, if possible?
The one that I always suggest and I still run, I got 3 of them, are if you go to like Micro Center, they're literally $200 right now, which is $150 less than what I paid for my first one.
Dang.
They're decreasing in price because they're becoming so popular that they're lowering in price because so many people are buying them.
Yeah.
It's Creality makes the Ender 3 version 2. That's
Yeah.
what I fuck with heavy. It's a little bit more manual because you have to do like all your settings and bed leveling yourself. But once you learn it and you realize that like the world on the internet and there's 9 million free files of things for you to download, it's like Napster all over again. It's literally like, I'm not downloading movies. I'm not downloading Metallica to upset Lars. I'm downloading fucking car parts, bike parts, key rings, anything you can fucking imagine, dude. Little stupid trinkets. You're into fucking figurines, like anything out there, man. And the fact that like if you learn CAD, you can literally engineer and design parts. You can fucking design solutions. You can go out and like break your air vent on your truck and be like, all right, I gotta fucking measure this out and build one and then replace it. Like, just being able to do shit like that. It's not just about rapid prototyping, but it's about also just literally now you can make components. And with the filaments getting even better, like with they just came out with like the carbon fiber infused nylon by Coex. Dude, and you can run that shit on an Ender. Like just being able to do like carbon infused nylon, like that's something that a Clot is like, look at our glass filled or carbon fiber filled products. It's like, shit, I can make that in my basement. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking insane, dude. Like,
yeah.
It's just, yeah. So, I don't know. It's a fun hobby, too, especially here in the Midwest in the winter. And it's just, dude, I just nonstop make shit. And every day I'm making something. And people are like, yeah, but doesn't it take long? I'm like, yo, if I got to order pedals.
Oh, that's a good point.
I'll order from Albies, right? So I
Yep.
place the order. That day they file the order. It goes to UPS or whoever. One full day of shipping, and then by the next day it's delivered in the afternoon. It's 3 days. I literally start a pair of pedals at night. I go to bed. I wake up, and I do have more machines. Don't get me wrong, but like it takes 6 hours to print this.
Mm-hmm.
So you need 4 of these. So 24 hours. It's still, even with one machine, it's faster to print all these, and you can print just what you need.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Once you make the pedal, you can grind the shit out of this and then just put on another one.
Right.
You know what I mean? So just being able to do shit like that, I don't know. That's just like me being a hands-on person and super basically autistic about all of it. I just, it's what it really is.
Yeah. It's a really cool concept, and yeah, to just reiterate again, I mean, we went super in depth on this stuff in the video, so I don't want to repeat too much stuff with you, and
Yeah.
but it's so awesome, and I think it's only going to keep going further and further.
Yeah, the technology, like the companies that make like your apps and stuff, is they're constantly like reaching out and contacting, like to better refine the their software. Um, the technology coming along now. Did you see they made like 5-axis 3D printing? So before, when you would do like
You're
you know,
gonna
like,
if you're gonna demonstrate, you gotta refresh your camera again at
God damn
first.
it,
I
dude.
know.
This just doesn't want me to talk about it.
I was letting it go, but if you're gonna, yeah, okay,
Oh,
you're
you're
good.
good. I was just gonna say, like, the undersides, like where if you have something like you have to fill in underneath your object,
Mm-hmm.
you have to use supports.
You're right.
Now they have like machine heads that can actually like print upside down.
So basically, what
So
you're saying for people who don't fully get it is like if you print a flat thing and you want it to be 3 inches above your thing, you have to have supports underneath of that to be able to build
yeah,
up because it starts at the bottom and goes up. But what you're saying is it can literally do it in space.
yeah. I'll fucking like show you a video of it sometime. It's pretty sick. Like the head twists,
That's
so it can like
wild.
go upside down and print. So, and that's not even like commercial manufacturing. This is just like a $30 part.
Wow, that's
You know what I
sick.
mean? That like you just buy and put on your thing, and it's just like, yeah, there's definitely like a learning curve to it. Spencer, I'm sure he can account for that. It's a pain in the ass,
Mm,
and it is a little bit overwhelming. But once you like understand the machine and what it's capable of, it's just like limitless.
yeah, that's
It's just sick to just be able to like, if you have an idea, you literally were like, hey man, I want to do like head tube badges,
yeah.
and I'm
I
like,
in two
hi Brant.
days they were done.
I'm like, Brant, I don't know how to do that at all. Like, I have no idea how to take this image that you sent me, but I'm gonna watch YouTube videos of like 12-year-old kids who are smarter than me, and I learned how to do it, and then I printed them and I sent them to you. Like, that's so fucking insane that I'm just like a normal dude. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like, I'm not a manufacturer.
Yeah,
I just got a fucking like $200 machine in my basement, and I just have an eagerness to learn how to make things, and boom,
yeah,
it happens.
yeah. It's rad, and it's a thing that I think more and more people will get into as time goes, and the machines get as cheap as they can be
Yeah,
possibly.
and like they're making new ones now that like they cost more. The only reason I say like the Ender 2, Ender 3 V2s is because like they're really good machines as far as the product they produce.
Mm-hmm.
They are more manual, and that's why they're cheap. There
Yeah.
are ones that cost more, and they'll have more features, like you don't have to set up as much shit, and you
Oh,
don't have to
okay.
like balance your little bed and everything. And they'll make machines in the future that literally they plug them in and you print.
Right.
Like it's only a matter of time. Like they have ones now that have like LiDAR on them,
Whoa.
so they
Oh.
can like see the bed and they can measure it and they understand the flow rate coming out of the nozzle and it can adjust. Like that's insane. So
Yeah.
it's only going to be a matter of time until like this literally is Napster, dude. Like,
It's like your printer for printing on paper at that point, where you just buy it, you set it up, you push print on the internet, and then it does it.
yeah, I mean, dude, it sounds crazy, and I mean, the reluctance for any sort of technology is people like, no, that ain't gonna happen. But like, I know that in a few years this is gonna be like the thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you want something, you're literally gonna be able to make it yourself at your house. It's a new. Obviously, certain forms of manufacturing are always going to exist and need to exist.
Yeah.
But a lot of other things, this is a gap filler. Not to mention, the plastic that you can use here isn't petroleum based. So your recycling aspects, your green concepts behind it,
Yeah.
like that's a big major thing where you're not contributing to waste anymore and you have a product that is biodegradable.
Right.
Like, it's definitely the future, whether people like want to say I'm ruining the industry or not. Fuck 'em. I'm just an enthusiast and I'm just trying to share my knowledge with other people, and then who knows, young kids might get into this or they have it in their shop class at high school, make some products, put their friends' names, their like little group of friends on it, and maybe one of them end up as a fucking engineer or something, you know what I mean?
And ends up being the next big bike company. Just
Dude, like, just, I mean, shit, dude, it's insane that, like, yeah, you want a stem design? Like, I can design stems. Oh, a sprocket? I can design that. Like,
yeah, it's sick. And then you take that and you make it in 3D printing, and then you take that and go boop. Oh, now we're gonna do CNC, and it's a real sprocket that you put on your bike. Not to say that the 3D printing wouldn't hold up for a sprocket for a little bit, but
yeah,
obviously,
dude, just imagine. We're only a few years out until like aluminum 3D printing becomes more affordable.
That would be so crazy.
Right now, they have at-home CNC machines that are only like $4,000.
Wow.
I know that's a lot right now, but like, imagine just being able to like download S&M's new fucking sprocket, and it's a file.
Yeah.
And you have it at home. Everyone has at-home fucking CNC machines, and you just put your block of aluminum in. You pay the fucking whatever for the sprocket design.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything's becoming so fucking expensive that it's like prices are only going to keep going up.
Yeah.
This is a way to make things more affordable and still accessible.
Right.
Yeah, it takes some more hands-on work, but like, that's the whole thing. If everybody wants to chime in about like the future and clean energy, it takes fucking work to be clean.
Right.
It takes work to be able to like be able to recycle. Like, you could just throw everything away, or you could fucking, actually clean shit and reuse it and recycle and conserve. And
yeah.
But hey, there's if you're gonna practice what you preach, or just yell on the internet about it like most people.
Oh, well, man, let's refresh the camera one last time.
Oh my god.
I know. We're done. It's over. It's fine. We're done after that. I just want to have you actually there to be able to wind down. God, all right, it was there and then it went away.
Dude, I don't understand. You're like fucking crystal clear on my end.
I don't know. This has happened before, but I don't know the
You're like
reason
literally
for it.
in a beautiful like Microsoft
I am Windows.
Windows field.
I am Windows, baby.
Same. I'm on my PC, so I can't say shit. I kind of like PC over Mac for some things.
Yeah, I'm on a Mac with Windows background. But anyway, I appreciate your time, and this is just like when we sat in the hospital parking lot talking after riding for 3 hours every time we rode. So
oh, dude, fun. That's all I can do is talk. I love fucking talking because, I mean, shit, everybody's got experiences and stories, and talking is the only way to learn.
Yep. So talk to people, and we're going to have to do this again and just talk about whatever.
Yeah, I'm totally down, like, and just fucking rant about all sorts of shit. Like, I don't even fucking get into, like, too much shit. I mean, I could totally fucking, if we want to just have, like, theory-based conversations about shit, would be really fun.
Yeah.
To, like, bounce ideas about, like, where we see trajectory of, like, BMX culture, the culture war that we're in the midst of, like, all the shit. You could really get into some, like, politics and do some, like, really, like, third-party perspectives, like, where do you see things, where do I, where try to come to, like, a middle ground and understanding, get people's input.
Yep.
All that kind of shit could be fun, too, because, I mean, we're a part of everything that's going on in the world right now, so.
Yeah, and to do it live in this format where people can give their thoughts in it in real time and then have these discussions where we get other people's input at the same time. It's just cool. And that's what we used to do when we would ride, is talk about where we
Yeah,
saw
man.
BMX and everything going. So yeah.
People eat that shit up too. It's like the Joe Rogan shit. It's just like normal people just having a conversation about. You kind of detach yourself from your own perspectives and you talk things theoretically.
Yeah, I'm totally cool with people calling me the Joe Rogan of BMX.
I'm totally, yeah. I mean, I've been fucking. I had people stop me and be like, "Man, your voice sounds like Joe Rogan." And I'm like, "What?" No, but yeah, man,
Okay.
it's just like BMX needs that too. This is the way that you can express personality in BMX. It's good, and I'm
Yeah.
happy that you actually like want to talk about shit and aren't just like you aren't just like, dude. I see so many other podcasts. I ain't gonna fucking mention names, but like, thank God, just keep asking real questions. Talk to people about, prod them a little bit, make them explain their stances.
Yeah, what's the whole point of what I mean, not the whole point. I don't want to make it come across that way, but it is a
Yeah,
very important thing in what I'm doing. It was very conscious from the beginning that I wanted to try and have an impact on BMX through being able to talk about the things that we aren't allowed to talk about in ways that make people think and don't just piss them off for that it being brought up.
yeah. No, it's definitely sick, dude. And it is really important because that's like where the individuality that we talked about that you can't necessarily explain in filming or
Hmm.
photography. This is the real way to make people understand who individuals are, and
Yep.
that's the biggest and most important part of what BMX is, in my opinion. It's not just
Yep.
riding; it's just who is behind all the shit.
So what
But
I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, remind me in 1 month to text Zack Gerber about podcast.
Okay, added.
hey Siri,
January 8th, I'll be texting you, and
cool.
we'll plan another one. So thank you for your time, and appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure, man. Keep it up, and yeah, don't just do podcasts where you're like, so, what's your favorite color? What do you like to ride?
Nope.
How long? You know what I mean? Like that shit. Like, don't
Yep.
do that.
Never have, and don't plan to start.
Yeah. Be like, I want to hear what's your most childhood traumatic event? Tell me a story.
Oh, that's funny.
All
All
right, man.
right. Yeah, if I don't get off here, I'll sit here all night. So, good night,
Same.
everyone. Thanks for
I'm
tuning
fucking
in.
tired, dude.
We'll see y'all tomorrow.
All right, later, man.
See ya.
See you, Brant.